Welcome to the Reiser Virtual Cheese Awards 2026, showcasing the very, very best of British and Irish cheese. My name is Cara, and I'm moderating this session, which is the amazing raw milk cheese. I would now like to introduce to you my two judges for the day. We only have very few judges at the Virtual Cheese Awards. These are special people who seriously know what they're talking about. And I'm going to hand over to you, Jonathan, to introduce yourself first.
My name's Jonathan Piercy. I have a business called The Crafted Cheese Man, selling British and Irish artisan cheese to the hospitality industry, sort of trying to take the cheesemonger to the restaurant.
Fantastic. And now over to you, the one and only Mr. James Grant.
Hi there, so I'm James Grant, known as the Bucks Cheese Guy from Buckinghamshire. That's where I live. I also have a shop called Number 2 Pound Street, which is in Buckinghamshire, which is where I live. But I also have the Real Cheese Project, which is a company to help champion small producers of fine artisanal cheese, which is really well made. I work with people that follow ecological farming methods, agroforestry, really looking at putting wholesome food back into the public domain rather than all of this mass-produced garbage. There you go, that's me.
Out of interest, where's the Real Cheese Project based?
The Real Cheese Project is based nationally and in Ireland as well. Thank you, Jonathan, for that.
No, I meant the head office. Where's the head office based?
Head office is in Londinium. Yeah.
Not
Very
Buckinghamshire.
much, chaps.
Londinium. No, that's my address for the Real Cheese Project. Thank you.
Guys. So the judges will use a point system for scoring against four different attributes. These are appearance, aroma, texture, and most importantly, flavour. There is a total of 50 points to be had by each cheese. The scoring system this year has changed to ensure that we're rewarding cheese-making excellence within the class and not solely the winner of the class. Cheeses scoring 45 points and above will be allocated a gold, 40 and above a silver, and 30 and above a bronze. The highest scoring cheese, and there can be only one, will go on to the live Supreme Final on the 17th of June, where there will be 22 incredible cheeses to be judged, and the Supreme Champion will be crowned. So the chaps are very excited this morning because they have 17 incredible cheeses. We're going to kick off with cheese number 1, which is A91015. Jonathan, if you wouldn't mind holding it up to your camera, that's amazing. Oh, and the rind.
Beautiful looking rind. And the colour of the paste has got this sort of really beautiful buttery yellow to it.
It's a very tight paste as well, which is normal for this style of cheese. It's cheddary. It's very tight and close. There's a couple of mechanical holes there, which are natural with this type of make occasionally. The rind looks to me like a paraffin wax on the outside, a thin coating potentially of that. And the smell is clean,
Savoury.
fresh.
You can.
The rind is
sort of
delicious
that little bit of that yeastiness as well, that sort of marmite savouriness to it as well, which is beautiful.
Picking up some chicken pan notes,
yeah,
just
nice.
under the rind, which is coming in lightly.
And on the rind, you get that sort of musty clothiness that you'd expect from this sort of cheese.
Slightly forest floor in the morning as the sun shines and the air is the moisture is lifted. You get that fresh walk when I'm taking my.
You're just trying to give Cara too much to write.
No, he just wants to watch me drool, actually.
It smells amazing. So I think on on my side, Jonathan, I'm quite sincerely happy to mark that a DHA 10. I think that's what I'd expect.
I think to look at, like I say, from this style of cheese, it's exactly what you want it to look like, and especially the rind. I think the rind just it kind of gives you that idea of that it's been looked after really well.
Yeah, it's clearly been aged for some time. There is a slight note of a light kind of aged cheese halo, which is slightly darker towards the rind, where the air has
Cool.
obviously reduced the moisture in that section. So that will be more complex when you taste that, we hope. I'm
Lovely.
just going to
So
get. Go
I
on,
was going to
sorry,
say,
Cam.
can we move on to the score for the appearance then, guys?
So yeah, so I
10.
think we'll go. Are you happy with 10, James? Yeah.
I'm so happy with a 10. I
Yeah.
can hardly contain myself. 10.
10. And buzzer. What a way
I
to start, chaps.
think the
Brilliant.
I'm
smell
just going to use
when
my
you.
special slice
Oh,
to
for
cut into
God's
the
sake,
cheese.
mate! How many sponsors are
Lovely.
you working with currently? The smell when you cut it as well. You get this. The freshness is even more apparent, I think. You almost get some elements of, sort of elements of like that grassiness or grassiness. I live up north, so I have to say.
This works for me. So aroma, guys. What are we going to give the score for the aroma?
I'll be happy to sit around an 8 or a 9, I think.
Why not a 10?
It's a good question. Actually, no, yeah, no, I can't think of a reason not to, James. So I agree with you. Yeah, I think when you cut into it as well, you get that level of freshness that is heightened. So I think, yeah, I definitely think you're right. I think there's no reason to not give it a 10.
No reason. On the palate, I'm getting a barny farmyard, clean barny farmyard note, like a
Hmm.
dry hay barn. I'm getting grassy hay notes, a butteriness, and a gentle ascorbic acidity that's dancing on my palate and stimulating my esophagus.
Jesus Christ.
I
Sorry.
love this.
I
I don't
got
really
there
know.
on the
I don't know what I
palate.
was
I
going to
got
say, Cara.
grassy hay notes
Yeah,
and
I think also you're sitting. There's a really nice level of butteriness that balances it as well, and I think you also get the
Coming
back end
together,
of
yeah.
it's got that nice sort of umami savouriness, which again, as James said previously, with this style of cheese, it's really what you'd maybe you can't say expect because every cheese is different, but what you'd look for, what you'd like to see in this style of cheese, I think definitely it gives you all the flavors you would like to see in this style of cheese. And I think
okay.
that balance, and again, I talk about this a lot with cheese. Seasoning is key, and I think the balance of seasoning, given the sort of the level of strength and the level of those farming notes, is been done extremely well.
So the only thing we haven't really spoken about is
Texture,
texture, guys,
As expected.
I
which
There's
think
nothing
is
wrong with that texture, which is a hard cheese. Which I think what's important is the mouthfeel on a cheese like this. You want to ensure that it doesn't become floury and dissipate in different stages within your mouth. You want that fat, the cheese, to basically coat your mouth equally and evenly, which this does.
would you not expect a bit more of a break in it, the way it breaks and the way it feels when you break it in your mouth? I feel like it's ever so slightly, maybe a bit waxier than I'd expect it to be.
I maybe that has something to do with the style of this cheese as well, Jonathan. I'm not sure if it's 100% cheddar cheese.
Right.
There may be a slight
So maybe
difference to
more of
that.
like an alpine element to it.
Potentially, yeah. Um, I'm quite happy with the give that the cheese offers, and I'm also taking into consideration that this has been to deepest, darkest Lancashire, and then back and from somewhere else at the same time, all in the space of 24 hours. So there will have been some sort of packaging shock as well to this.
Hmm.
But given the journey time, I'm really pleased with a very clean cheese, well balanced, as you said, really well balanced. The salt is fine, and that is part of the seasoning process, of course, and obviously stopping any movement and reducing the acidity levels as well. So this is really good. This is a good cheese.
brilliant,
I think
guys. Can I?
texturally for me, I would sit personally around a 9 just because I think I'm finding that little bit of waxiness, and it's only a tiny bit, but we have to be.
No,
honest,
of
but we also have
course.
to be and
Jonathan,
when you're getting a cheese that's clearly as good as this, we have to be looking at every element of it. And I think for me, just that little bit of waxiness is not making it a struggle because I don't want to say that because it's a great cheese, but I think just that I wouldn't be. That's the one place I think I could look at and say, right, maybe you could change that slightly. Like James said with the aroma, what could I change? I couldn't, but I think with that, that's the one thing I would notice. But that's just me personally. I'm happy to talk with James about it, obviously.
I think I'm very happy to go with the 9 points that you suggest, Mr. Crafty Cheese Man.
And what are we going with flavour, chaps?
I mean, the flavor's cracking in it. Like,
Lovely jubbly, yeah.
I mean, I don't know how I'd improve it. And I honestly don't like. And I think with James mentioned the idea of potentially that it's got more, it's got an Alpine element to it, potentially that style of cheese. Not, you notice that with the savoury, that sort of that little lightness of sweet, that little sweetness you get in there as well with that that sort of rich buttery cream element. I think I don't know where I'd knock points off. James, what do you think?
It's a really lovely cheese. I mean, to be fair, right now, I just want to make it into a toasted sandwich as well. I really fancy a toasted sandwich with this cheese.
I
I
don't
don't
think
know
you want a
why.
toasted sandwich after we've eaten all this cheese, dude.
I tried it with I tried one with kimchi yesterday, ladies and
Nice.
gentlemen, and it was absolutely
I,
stonkingly, brilliantly,
I love a
perfectly
kimchi
brilliant.
toast. This would be great with kimchi, to be fair, in a toast sandwich. But
Absolutely, that's what I'm
we
thinking.
digress.
Back to the room,
Um,
guys. Back to the
10
room.
points.
I don't
10
know.
points.
Well, it's out of 20.
It's
It's
out
out
of
of 20,
20,
James.
James.
20 points.
I don't think, yeah. To try and find something
Wow,
wrong with it, I think you're gonna.
guys.
I think
What a
you could
way
spend
to
ages
start.
looking, but I don't think we'd find anything.
20
What
points.
a way to start. Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Okay,
Sort of
brilliant.
cheese you want to eat. You know, you're cooking and you'll just keep eating it while you're cooking because it's just that good and really addictive.
Just run out of it because I'm just eating it rather than cooking with it.
That's it,
But yes,
exactly.
I know what you're saying. Our next cheese then is 1026, please, chaps.
Okie dokie, artichoke.
Ooh,
Shall I go, John?
Yeah, you go, you go. I'll
who
show
does
you
the
12.
rind?
I'll
Yeah,
show you tell.
amazing.
So the rind is a waxed rind, essentially the paraffin wax on the outside. It looks to me it's quite yellow, which is lovely. It
At the
has a lovely
paste.
aging halo as well. It's possibly a Gouda style of cheese, a Gouda recipe. There is some tyrosine crystallization, marginally, not dissipated throughout, but marginally through the cheese as well. I think this is a cheese of potentially 16 to 18 months,
Would you
one would
say
imagine.
would you say Gouda style or would you say it's aging more towards like that sort of Alpine-y, Comte Gruyere vibe or like a halfway point?
Maybe halfway point, Jonathan, because the
Mm,
shape's slightly unique as well, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah,
And would you
which
say the
may be
shape's
a
reminiscent
giveaway
of
sign.
how long it's been like sat on each side on the shelf, maybe?
Yeah, well, it seems to, yeah, absolutely. I think, yeah, interesting. Or what it's been sat on the shelf as well because of the
Yeah.
curvature.
Looks beautiful,
Okay,
guys.
so the nose is slightly subdued. It's a little bit close. There is some
Yeah, there
slightly
isn't.
fruity, farmy notes on the nose,
And I think when you get nearer the rind,
buttery.
you get a lot more that sort of farmier note, don't you? But
Yeah,
it's not the most, you know, compared to the previous cheese, it's not the most smack you in the face aroma. You're not getting loads
it's
straight
not giving you
away.
the same story. It's
But the
more
notes that
closed.
the notes you smell are very nice, but it's just not as
Yeah,
impactful.
I think what you'll find, because it's such a dense cheese, it's denser than the other cheese, which had a little more give. This is a harder cheese.
Yeah.
Those fats will be trapped within the paste. So when we open up and break that down by masticating, we should get the full flavor from this paste. I said
Fantastic.
masticating, Jonathan.
I didn't say anything.
Well, I
So right,
suggest you go
appearance.
masticate away, chaps.
Don't say that to James. So what do you reckon appearance, James?
I do genuinely believe the appearance is acceptable. There is a question of of how uniformed it is, but if we are talking about artisanal cheeses, do we need to be so pernickety? I
I
do
think
believe not. I would like to give this a 10 points.
I think that's that, like you say, it's that happy medium in it between something
Yeah,
looking like it's been treated correctly,
yeah.
but not completely uniformed. I
Yeah,
love the fact you can really clearly see the halo in there. I think that's a big thing. I
yeah.
think that you can really tell the aging process on
So
it.
10 points for
You
me.
want to go over 10?
Are
Yeah.
you all right with
Okay.
10, Jonathan?
Yeah, I'm happy with 10. Yeah.
I cut
Lovely.
it open.
I like the fact you get this little nudge here where it's obviously been sat, but it shows like it's a very handmade cheese, which I think is a great thing.
I've cut it open. I give it another sniff, and it smells different on the cuts because obviously we're waking up those volatiles, those fats. Any moisture that's trapped in is obviously coming out, and I'm getting a lovely sweet buttery nose from where I just cut it.
Definitely a huge amount of
Nice.
butteriness that you
Yeah.
really get that intense strength of like a sweet, like really good quality butter. Oh wow. I love it when you taste something that's so different to how you smell, for instance, because straight away you get a bit of acidity, a bit of strength, a bit of that sort of farmhousey strength you'd expect from like a really aged cheddar potentially. And you get that little bit of farminess, a bit of fruitiness as well, I think, James. Do you get a bit of that?
Yes, I do. I mean, I'm looking at the level according to the kind of the complex flavor tree on the academy and also structured approach. And when I'm tasting this, the simple flavors that come through, there's a nice acidity to start with,
Hmm.
which
Do you
bubbles
find it a bit
up.
too much? Do you find it a little bit too much, that acidity? I find it's hitting me very strong and it's kind of maybe taken away from the other notes I'm tasting afterwards, ever
It's
so
quite
slightly.
high, but it's
Mm,
not as high as I've had, but it's quite high.
mm.
The first bite is buttery, leading into some acidity, which kind of stays with me. It starts at about 4 or 5 on the scale of 10, goes up to about 7, and comes back down to a 2 or 3. So it stays with us all the way through. The butteriness is there, but there's not a huge plethora of flavor in
No,
this cheese.
there's not much length
Um,
to it. It's very hits
yeah,
you. You get those two flavors put on, like James said, and then it's sort of the main thing I'm left with is the acidity, to be honest with you. And as much as I don't mind a
yeah,
strong cheese that hits you with a bit of punch,
yeah. There's a
the fact that
slight
there's not
butter.
the fact that there's not much else to taste to bring some balance to that, I
Yeah,
think is you get that slight butteriness like James was mentioning, but it doesn't
I'd
last
like to
because
see that butter come through more. It's a little bit of
yeah,
a buttercup flour note. You know, when you smell a buttercup, that buttercup flour note I'm getting to start
yeah.
with. I'd like to see more of that pronounced, and I'd like to see more gentle acidity, more ascorbic acidity as well within this cheese.
I think it's quite
It's not
intense
a
at the
bad
beginning.
cheese, but it's lacking depth of flavor,
Yeah. And I think the
unfortunately.
flavors that are there are nice, but maybe they're lacking a little bit of balance and a little bit of length to, like James said, to I think more length in the flavor would maybe give you a bit more balance as well. But that acidity is kind of the overriding flavor, I think, for me anyway.
It might be that we brine this a little bit longer, or you know, to help this, because it wasn't as salty. I've tasted a cheese like this recently, very recently as well, which was more salty.
Hmm.
So I'm not sure if this may be a different batch, but
Yeah.
the salt doesn't dominate here. But I think maybe a little more salt to bring out other flavors as well, potentially.
So maybe aroma, what do you think, James? Maybe about a 6 or a 7? So, I mean, even when you cut it,
I'm quite
you
happy with
get
an 8. I'm quite happy with an 8. There's no olfactory, no off notes, no notes to be worried of. It promises but doesn't deliver on all of those levels. So
but
maybe
would
a
you
9,
like,
8,
would you like,
9.
so you think 9 for the smell?
Yeah,
So I was gonna sit 6 or 7. So should we meet at an 8? Are you happy to meet in the middle? Yeah.
100%.
Okay. And then
Chaps,
texture. I quite
Um,
like the texture. I'm not disappointed. I tasted right up to the rind. You get that dryness in the rind, which is what you'd expect from that halo. Again, for this sort of, like we said, sort of medium between a Gouda and a Alpine style, it's kind of what you'd expect, I think. Maybe would I like a bit more moisture? That would be dependent on the age, obviously, but I think it is a bit drying on the mouth a little bit.
it's drying, and it's a little lackluster. as you say, it's lackluster. It's
Yeah.
got that acidity that dominates. Drying. It starts off nice. It's the acidity heavier, and it's lackluster. It's weighty, and it's slightly duller. You know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah. So, I mean, so texturally, what do you think? We're about 7 or 8?
I go 8.
8, okay.
Yeah.
And then flavour out of 20. Again, I think,
13, 14.
yeah, I'd say I'm happy with 13. I think we go because it is the flavours that are there are nice, but they're maybe a little bit out of balance and could do with developing further. And like you say, it might just be a seasoning thing. More salt might change it.
So we're sticking with 13, chaps.
Yep.
I want it to be lovely to know when the milk was harvested for this cheese. If that was more of a early lactation cheese.
Yeah.
If it's a more of a protein rich cheese without so much fat in it, I don't know. I'm veering towards maybe if this was more of an October and November make, then it would be a bit richer.
Yeah.
Okay, chaps, we're moving on to the next cheese, which is 1058.
1058.
Cool.
James, would you mind holding it up this time?
Yeah, 100%. So this is a
Wow.
red coloured cheese with a microflora of molds that have grown on the outside of the cheese as well. As far as the look is concerned, when we cut through into the paste, it looks pretty perfect to me.
Yeah.
The outside of this cheese looks perfect. It's been handled very, very, very well indeed. This is a Gouda make, I would imagine.
And that lopsided element is exactly what you'd expect because you see that little ridge there. That's what you'd expect from how they age it and turn it.
Yeah. It's a lovely, really lovely looking piece of cheese.
It smells,
quite excited.
dude, it smells phenomenal.
I think I'm going to cut into it, Jonathan, just to wake up that smell a little bit.
You just get with it on the nose that, like you say, before even cutting into it, first thing caramel, that beautiful
100%.
rich caramel sweetness, which is all I think when you smell that on a cheese, it's always exciting.
I actually don't really want to taste this because I just want to take it home.
Well, it's lucky because you can take it home.
I can, so I'm not going to taste
We've got
too much
a wire. James, I'm really sorry. We've got a wire
James,
coming down.
There's a wire dropping down slowly.
It's like a spider's leg, but
Yeah. Oh my God, it's like someone's got caramel and mixed it with Marmite, which I know doesn't sound good to a lot of people, but honestly, from an aroma point of view with cheese, that is beautiful. And it breaks the way it breaks that's really what you'd want from this style of cheese.
Lovely. There's some tyrosine action in there as well, some crystallization. Age profile, Jonathan?
I'm gonna guess this probably 8-9 months, give or take.
Maybe a bit more.
I don't know because I think this style of cheese is. I think when we taste it, I'm hoping you'll taste a little bit of a cheddar element to it.
Yeah.
You would imagine they would probably do an older version of this as well, which might be, maybe you're right, maybe it might be 10, 11 months, but definitely.
Reminds me of the skin of a rice pudding. So you just caramelize that rice pudding, that lovely smell of a rice pudding on the nose. Delicious, lovely nose. For me, the look is 10. The smell is a 10 for me.
And texturally, I hate to say it, James, I think it's a 10. It's that, the way you get the crystal, you get a texture of the crystal. It is a little bit claggy, but not in a bad way. You'd expect that from this age and this style of cheese to be a little bit. Doesn't dry your mouth out. It gets your saliva going, but I think that's.
Well, okay, so
you get a little bit of farminess. Sorry, mouthful. Shouldn't you talk a mouthful?
3 cheeses in. Very difficult competition. Beautiful sweetness, great acidity, salivating going on.
Do you know what I mean about that farmy cheddar element as well? You get a little bit of that sort of farmhouse cheddar element in there, just there, sitting there.
I'm not getting as much of that, to be fair. I'm just getting all of these incredible sweet, dairy, buttery caramel notes, which is just really making me feel very, very happy indeed. I want to go for more. I'd
Yeah.
love to have this with a nice goose beer.
With a what?
Just a
A
peasant beer.
goose.
Yeah, goose. Excuse me. I'll have it with a goose. But I think it's delicious. It's a really
Really
delicious
beautiful.
cheese.
What do you want to
I'm
give it for flavour then?
I'm going to go 10. No,
I'd go 20
20.
because I think it's out of 20.
20.
Again, I don't know how you'd improve it. I know me and James differ slightly on the farmhouse cheddar element, but I like that characteristic that flavor that I get brings so much great balance to the sweet sort of savory element to it as well. And I think that element is balance wise, it's perfect. You get the salt. The
Uh,
salt's a bit higher than, for instance, the first one we had, but it's that salt sits perfectly within the cheese. So I think nothing. I don't think what I can improve. So I'm happy with 20, definitely.
that's one of the nicest cheeses I've tasted in a long time. It's delicious.
There we go.
Amazing. Thank you, guys.
And
We didn't actually give it a score
hot
for
off the press on the Bucks
texture.
cheese guy.
Texture,
A
10.
10. No, I thought we saw it. Yeah, sorry, 10. Yeah. I mean,
Wowzers.
I'm gonna be honest with you. We're into a nightmare of a category already because we've got unbelievable cheeses off the bat, and looking at the ones we've got to come, I don't
Amazing.
think it's going to get much worse.
Well, let's press on because we have quite a few to get through. The next one is 1084, chaps.
1084, got it. Oh, here we go. Something completely different. And now we move on to something completely different.
It's a little bit, the light's a little bit off on yours, so I can't see
Get
the.
James to do it.
Oh, wow. Okay. And top and bottom. Thank you, James. That's great. I don't think it's the outdoor light, Jonathan. I think it's just it's
Oh,
so
okay.
bright that it wasn't picking up the flora, but
But yeah, I mean, and to feel, it's got this lovely bit of give to it.
It has. There's moisture being emitted naturally. You can feel that,
What about the cheese, James?
and the cheese is giving moisture
Sorry,
naturally.
Cara. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. It really
Um,
smells that sort of mushroomy, sort of similar to what James said with the previous cheese, sort of
it's
foresty
quite
floor,
delicate. There's no
mush.
heavy ammonia.
No, which is nice. You definitely
In
get that
fact,
sort
I'm
of.
not picking
I
up
don't
any
like.
ammonia.
I don't like the word musty, but I think in a lot of in this sort of sense, it's a good word because you do get that sort of musty, mushroomy flavor, which I really like.
Cutting into the cheese.
Lovely halo,
oh,
which you can't really see on my camera.
Here we go. Ready?
yeah.
Oh wow!
Oh, wowzers.
I think the inside smells amazing.
It's a very good looking cheese. Whoever's produced this cheese, I love it. I love the fact that we've got a bit of funk on the
Yeah, man, a
rind,
little bit
some
of that blue
lovely
mold is wicked.
Penicillium roqueforti gently engendering itself on the top of this lovely mold, predominantly Penicillium candidum ripened cheese.
You can
Delicious
tell he's an
look.
Academy of Cheese trainer, can't
Um,
you?
Cracking halo, slightly loose. One thing I'm looking at is the rind and being able to bite into this cheese without taking your mind without confusing your mind too much with the rind is really important. You want a nice integration. So let's give it a little bite and see what happens.
I think also that on the aroma, you're kind of getting a bit of savouriness, which is not necessarily what I'd expect from a paste on a cheese like this sort of lactic-y style. So it's really nice to have that sort of buttery, rich, slightly savoury element to it. There is slight bit of gapping on my one between the rind
Mm.
and the paste. Oh wow. Get a lot of that initial farminess.
So biting into the cheese, I think the aroma is quite gentle and not giving away too much about this cheese on the rind. It's kind of pebbly, stony on the nose, if you know what I mean. Mushroomy, pebbly, stony, fungal, but just gentle. Just really, it's those flavors are more suppressed. It's not as brassica as you'd find with a Camembert de Normande, for example. It's not as brassica as that. So it's quite subdued. And when I bite into this cheese, I'm getting a very well balanced cheese. So the salting on this cheese has been very carefully done. It's a lovely goaty, fresh flavour to it, with not overly being too overly goaty, which is suggesting to me that the milk is very, very dear to the people that make this cheese. It's very
Do you not
cared
think?
for. It's not
I feel like
travelling too far.
I feel like the farming notes are quite heavy, and I think I lose a little bit of the citrus that I would expect from this style of cheese. I don't dislike the farming notes, but for me, it offsets the balance ever so slightly. And like I think the salt is high, it's a bit high, which I'd expect, but then there isn't that level of citrus either to give as much balance as I'd like.
I mean, for me, the rind is there is some tonic astringency to the rind as well. If you go closer to the rind and try it, so there is a heightened acidity as well, as you said. I generally think that the paste, though, if you just try the paste on its own, Jonathan, you'll find that it's
Mhm.
fairly neutral. It tastes good, and for me, that's really positive, and it just really encourages me to see how goat's cheese has come along in the 15, 20 or so
No, I
years
agree,
that
and
I've
I
been
think, like you
doing it.
say, the paste is a lot cleaner, but across as a whole cheese, I think, for me, I think if you eat the whole cheese, there's a slight off balance between the rind and the paste as an overall cheese, not just the individual elements.
And I think the other thing as well with the rind is it's slightly pappy as
Yeah, it is a
well,
bit. Yeah.
um, which um, which is like pappy, like wet cardboard in
Mm,
certain areas as well. The paste for me is a delight. I'm enjoying
hmm.
that. That's
Agreed.
showing me that the milk has not traveled very far, so we haven't bruised any of the solids that make up that milk before it's turned into magic cheese. The rind lets it down somewhat, and that's it.
So I think so
Guys,
from a appearance point of view, where do you sit, James? I mean, I'm happy with a 9 or a 10 to be honest, because I think to look at,
I
I think
think
it's
to
a
look
lovely
at it's
looking
a 10,
cheese.
definitely. I think we can't take anything away from that.
I think tech aroma wise,
sorry guys, can I just go back one sec? What were
sorry,
you giving it as a score?
so we said
10.
a 10
And
for the for the appearance. And then I think aroma wise, again, I felt like it was nice on the nose. I like the fact that you got that mushroominess on the outside, and then
But I
a
think it
little
was a
bit.
little subdued.
I mean, yeah. Would you like it to be stronger? I was happy with the strength, but probably would have expected it to be a bit stronger given the style of cheese. So maybe we sit 8, 9.
I think 9 then. Yeah.
No, yeah. You get that, Cara?
yeah,
Yep. And then
texture.
texturally, I think, like you say, the rind being the way it is the one element of it that I think could be improved from a textural point of view. So, what do you reckon, James? Where would you sit score wise?
I think it's a 6 or a 7.
Yeah, I'll be happy. I'll be happy with a 7. I think yes. I think a seven's a night
Yeah.
because I think, like you said, James, the paste is really light as well. I think texturally as well as flavor wise.
Yeah.
And then taste wise, again, almost two different cheeses in a way. That paste is like a beautiful flavor, fresh, clean, can taste the quality of milk, and then the rind is the element that will maybe could be improved ever so slightly. So maybe I'd sit
Yeah.
maybe 12, 13. James, what do you think? Maybe more? Carl looks
Um,
upset.
Sounds a little
A bit.
low
Okay. Would
considering what your comments, but
I think that there's only one real the major factor for me is that the rind is a bit pappy, not all over though, because when I bit into it initially, I didn't have that integration, but when I tried again, I could get from the corners and from that slip. There was a little bit of slip there as well, which is to do with the temperature, time, and humidity that the cheese is aged for. And let it down just slightly. That's an affinage thing. That's the way that this cheese
yeah.
has been ripened. Um, I, I'm quite happy to sit with a 15, 16. I think it's probably fairer. I think there is that tonic chicory astringency that I'm getting as well with the rind, which lets it down somewhat.
I think the rind for me, I always
The
see
paste is beautiful. The paste is
I always just see
beautiful.
the rind as
Really
being
nice.
such a significant part of the cheese, which is probably why I was leaning a bit lower. But I think I'm happy to sit at 15 with James if he's up with a 15.
James
Yeah.
is a
Yeah.
15, you're a
Yeah.
12, 13. So,
Well, he said 15, 16. So I think if I come up and meet nearer, because I want to be positive, it's not an
yeah,
awful cheese by any means. It's a lovely cheese. I just think that rind is such a key part of a cheese. So, but yeah, I'll sit at 15. That's fine. More than happy with
thank
that
you,
because again,
chaps.
there's so much to talk about that's good. So,
Brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, if
We're
you were to
busy.
cut it into quarters, you've got rind, you've got paste, you've got the halo, and you've got the flavour. I think that take out that 50, that 25% of the vote. That's where it's lost. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. You're going to move on to the next one then, which
okie
is
dokie.
1087.
There we go. Can you? No, you can't really see it on my. No, useless.
Right, useless. James, would you mind showing us the cheese, lovely?
Yes.
Okay. Top and bottom. Lovely, thank you.
Oh, smells very. It's got a lot of that farmy smell to it, and like mushroom as well. Not a lot. I say that's what I can smell. It's not like super strong. It's just there the notes I can smell.
It's giving a little bit of stickiness, which I think is fine on the outside. Some of the
Oh,
Penicillium candidum has died off. As you can see, there's some more yellowing patches there. So that's died off a little bit, or hasn't actually even started.
oh, there you go. If I hold it at that angle, Cara, you can see things more.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah.
It's got a nice breakdown of a halo inside the rind. The smell, once you cut into it, is quite fresh and milky.
Milky and yogurty. Yeah.
Yeah,
The rind on this one is very integrated, which is good.
I think the smell
Looking forward
on the paste, the smell on the paste is fantastic.
to.
I think appearance-wise, Cara, I mean, again, maybe like you say, James, maybe where you've seen some of the slightly wetter patches where you lose, I think maybe we would look to say we'd like a bit more of that consistent white mold on the outside. What do you
Yeah,
think,
this could
James?
be to do with the heat in the room. If it's slightly too warm, excuse me, spider coming back. If it's too warm, it may have something to do with it. It may have been wrapped early as well.
Hmm.
That could have suppressed those molds a little more. I'm going to go in and give it a taste. I mean, the smell is clean, not offering a lot. It's very quiet again. It's a quiet
Mm,
bouquet on it. Mushroomy, farmy, but very gently,
mm.
very gently. I'd like to see more, but this is, I guess, the style of this cheese as well.
So what do you think on appearance, James? Do you
Um,
think we look to improve any part of it?
I think, as you said, I think it would be nice to see more of the mold microflora to have created more of a mycelium and be all over that cheese.
So what do you think?
And
Maybe like an 8?
I'd probably go 7, 8. Yeah,
Should we happy to sit with an 8 if that's right with you, James? Because I
yeah.
quite like I
Happy.
like the shape of it. I like the look of it. I like the look when you cut into it as well. I think the look when you cut into it is lovely. So we'll go with an 8, Cara.
Aroma?
And then aroma, again, like the perfect word to be fair that James used, quiet. You know, the notes you get, the first note you get is that farminess and you get mushrooms, but it isn't strong. Would I like to smell a bit more? Probably like a little bit more oomph behind the aroma. So where'd you same note again, James, score wise?
Yeah,
Yeah. So we sit on an 8 again, Cara, on the aroma.
You say it was slightly suppressed.
Yeah, I think that's
yeah.
it. It's just if you could amplify the smell that's there is nice, but if you could amplify a bit more, I think it would be even better. I mean, texturally, I think it's lovely.
The texture of the mousse is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a really nice texture. biting in. There's a slight amount of peppiness to the rind.
In like you said in the previous one as well, James, in places, because I think the first bite I had was quite like, you know, the rind was a really lovely part of the paste, but then the last bite I've had, there is that little bit of pappiness.
Mm. Well, I think, and that's also that's because of the way that the cheese has been ripened, the conditions as well. But it's a really lovely. It's a really nice for the texture mainly. It's beautiful, led by the paste.
Yeah,
The
that paste
rind,
has got a lovely texture, almost like a firm mascarpone sort of
yeah, it's
melt
really
on
good.
your
It's a
mouth.
lovely mix. I think I would probably go for a 9 on texture.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm with
and the
that.
reason why it's not 10, Cara, is just because Jonathan and I have recognised that there is a slight happiness which is dissipated, in different areas.
Yeah,
Um, uh, and if we go to the flavour or the flavour of this cheese, it's farmy with
do you,
a good salt.
do you think the bitter
A
notes are
beautiful,
quite high early on?
yeah, a
Mm.
beautiful fondant texture, sour cream,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, great
100%
description.
sour cream,
Mm.
even creme fraiche sour cream notes
Yeah,
with a citrus acidity that's dominant throughout. I think that this cheese is good. Um, I think we need to tone down on the acidity a
yeah,
little, or the
definitely.
chicory, the sour notes a little,
Yeah,
and that's to do with the make. If that can be brought back a little bit with the culture, that could be cool. I'm going to give this a 16 or a 17 as far as taste is concerned, Jonathan. That's where I'm sitting.
I'm happy. I think I was going to say 16. I'm happy to sit with 16 because I think that acidity, you kind of, although you still taste all the other elements, you lose them a little bit because that balance is off. And like I say, like
Yeah,
you said, if you can bring that acidity down a bit, I think that the flavor profile would be like
100%. I
so
think if you had
fantastic.
this cheese with a really good Cremant de Loire
Oh, what?
or Cremant de l'Alsace, a lovely Cremant, sparkling French wine,
Like,
this would work perfectly. More the Loire style, which has it's a little bit more spiky, a
yeah,
Loire wine, more herbaceous, and that would marry the spike. It's a little bit spiky, this cheese. That spikiness being that astringency. 16. But yeah, bloody good job. Well done. Whoever
absolutely.
made
Sorry,
that, that's brilliant. I want to see more of
chaps.
this. I want to see more
Sorry,
of that, please.
I don't have a score for the aroma.
So I think we said an
Oh,
eight.
I think we gave it an 8. Yeah,
Yeah,
we did give it
I
an
Lovely.
think
8.
we were. I think we were eight,
We
nine, and
were,
16.
8, yeah. 8, 8, 9, 15,
You were
16.
in
Could have been
full
the
flow.
15.
I didn't quite get which, and then we went
Listen,
straight into
when we're in
texture.
full flow, no one understands what's going on, Cara.
You're talking to somebody that's trying to capture it, mate. That's all right. The next cheese is 1119.
1119. Got ya.
1119, yeah.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
perhaps it might help, guys, if we just discussed everything and then went back and put the
Scored.
scores
That's
in.
cool. Yeah, no worries.
Then it won't stop you in full flow.
Okay.
That looks beautiful.
I was trying to be helpful, Cara, but
You were being amazing, mate. I'm not stopping you at all.
It was a cloth bound cheese, definitely a territorial style. It looked slightly dappled, throughout the paste as well. There's a little bit of dappling going on. What I mean by that is um, the paste is not one color 100%. There's other little colors in there, but
yeah,
it's dissipated perfectly. Slight dappling going on there,
What
like
you'd
a
expect
dappled
for it.
horse. Yeah.
Is that yeah, that's what you'd want from that cheese then?
yeah. I think you're not disappointed to see it, if that makes sense. So it's not something you necessarily see as a problem.
There
But
is a
similar
butteriness on the
cheeses
right.
would be more consistent as well. So not consistent, but more consistent in color.
There's a
Um,
butteriness on the rind. It's
yeah,
slightly subdued. This is an older version of a style of cheese. I think this is. It's been matured for a little longer. You can
Definitely
tell by the
I think
rind.
buttery is the word that's overriding
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
And when you
it's
cut into it,
nicely giving and firm and giving.
And then when you cut into it, you really smell the butteriness isn't as strong anymore. You've got a lot more of that strength, that sort of farmhousey style cheese that you'd expect. I don't want to say farmy because it didn't smell musty or like that sort of hay smell. It's more like a farmer's field, a bit more grassy and a bit more fresh. But you still get that butteriness sort of lingering in the background, but not as at the front as it is when you're before we cut it.
Yeah, I mean, it's very, very clean. It's very buttery. There's nothing wrong with that nose.
Oh, the
I'm
texture
picking
is
up,
lovely.
yeah, really nice.
when you
The
say
texture.
lovely, do
Sorry,
you,
no,
I know
sorry. I was in my little
you're
world.
just off in cheesy
Um,
heaven there,
it's
but
got this beautiful moisture to it, texturally. You know, when you have like a slightly older cheddar or something, it's got a bit more firmness and a bit more dryness to it. This has got more moisture. It's got a bit more give to it in its texture. Um, and like
It's it,
slight
it,
like not fudgy, but like it's got a bit more that sort of. If you bit into it, you'd leave your teeth marked, if that makes sense.
it's quite Bakewell tart, frangipani in flavour.
Mm.
You've got that frangipan element. You know what I mean? When you taste this, it's frangipan, but it's not strong, but it's definitely there.
It's
It's
got a
not
lot
giving
of.
me
Go
the
on, sorry.
depth of butter that I would love with this cheese.
Really, I feel it's got
Yeah, I'm
a
not
lot of
getting a
length to it.
massive depth of butter with this one.
I feel like when you eat that flavor, that smell of butter that we got a lot of on the outside before we cut it, you get that richness, that butteriness, but it's also complemented by a bit more of a strength, a bit more of an oomph to it. Like a bit more of a farmhousey style. Not too much. It's not like got that high bitterness that you sometimes get, but I think I'm getting a lot of length to it, maybe more than James, but not again. Could it have more? Probably. I think it could have a little bit more potentially, but I do think it's got a lovely level of balance. The salt in it's really nice. I think there's a good level of salt in it.
Yeah, it's not overly salty at all. It's balanced. My take home for this is literally biting into a spongy. I'm getting that cake, freshly baked cake flavor to it, which is quite pleasing.
I love that
There is
give. The texture, I
there's an
think,
element
is
of
fab.
acidity to it. The rind for me isn't offering as much of the butter or farmy notes that I would expect. It's quite closed, quite a quiet rind again for me
Hmm.
where I am. Um, um, and the paste is a little bit breaking, is a broken up a little bit, broken up for me on my palate as well. It's a little bit more slightly floury as well.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. I think I understand what James is saying about the rind, especially. It is a bit quiet, but like a bit more on the aroma. Flavor-wise, I don't get the floweriness that James mentions, but I think the balance there for me is, I think, is lovely. I think, yeah, it would be nice to have a bit more length of flavor, a bit more depth. But what you're tasting, the flavors, I think, are very good and very well balanced, in my opinion.
okay. Let's go to the scoring then, guys. Aroma.
I think, like James said, on the rind, it is slightly muted, but I think the paste has a nice smell to it. And when you cut into it, I quite like the fact the smells are a bit different than what you smelled before we cut it. So I'd maybe sit on an 8, maybe.
Yeah.
Appearance.
10.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything we can say negative about it. I don't think I agree with James. 10.
Texture.
I love the texture. I think the moisture and the creaminess, but I know James is slightly
It's
finding it a bit
it's it's
flowery.
it's good texture. There's just that it's. I'm going to give it a 9.
Okay, yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with a 9. Yeah, I'm definitely happy with a 9.
And then flavour, guys.
Again, a bit more length would be nice. but I still think the flavors we're tasting are very good.
I think
So
16, 17.
I was going to say 16, 17. To be on the positive side, I'd be happy with a 17 if James is happy to go
Yeah,
with 17.
17. Yeah. There's a fairly pleasing farmy nose at the end as well. Clean farmy
Yeah,
note. This is finishing
definitely.
on. Yeah.
Brilliant. So we're moving on to the next cheese, guys, which is 1135.
138, 1154.
This one here.
186, 1139. Oh, that one. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna.
Okay, so that's I can't, there's no point showing you the bottom, but that is the bottom.
So
That's it there.
I'm gonna
You can
take
take it
or
out,
attempt to.
babe.
I'm gonna attempt to take the outside off. It's with this cheese. It's quite difficult, but I'm gonna try and do a little bit of a. You can't see. There we go.
Yeah, that's better.
That's
Ooh.
nice. The nose on this cheese, the look is perfect for me. It's had a little bit of transit damage, so that's great. The
Oh,
nose is offering me some clean, fresh, farmy notes, which are beautiful.
slight
Slightly
mushiness.
yeasty,
Yeah.
yeasty.
Oh, he likes that word, doesn't he, Cara?
Mm,
Yeasty.
yeasty.
I think the smell's lovely. Like you said, I think the best word, like you said, James, clean. That cleanness. To have that cleanness
Clean,
when
fresh,
it's got that
yeasty.
when it's got that yeasty and that mushroomy in it, but to have it smell so clean as well, I think is actually a very difficult skill. And I think that's
OMG, look at that. Jonathan, before you, I was going to say, is there any way of looking at the bottom of that one?
I
If
can
you,
try. It normally sticks to the bottom quite a lot,
yeah,
but I will try my best for you, Cara.
thanks,
Oh,
mate.
actually, no, I've done all right. I've done all right. So it has broken off ever so slightly,
Yeah.
as you can see, but I
Oh,
mean,
that's
it's very similar
beautiful,
to how
though.
it looks on top, to be fair.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
apart from the fact that
So I'm going to give this a taste. The rind looks great on it from cutting through, Jonathan. There is obviously a breakdown. There is a good proteolysis. This is an exceptionally old version of this cheese, which is
James,
this is
what's
more of a
proteolysis?
lactic style. The breakdown, the lipids and the proteins being broken down by the yeast, which is tunneling underneath the rind.
Hmm.
This is
The smell is great. I think that smell that you get. And again, I know we've talked before about muted and quieter smells. I think
okay.
this has got a bit more on the aroma, so the notes you can smell as well follow through into the flavor, which I think is lovely.
Oh,
Uh,
hallelujah moment. This cheese, for me,
mm, uh,
is incredibly perfect.
Oh,
The mousse, the flavor, the creaminess, the slight farmy element to this, the yeasty notes, the way that the mouthfeel, it's rich, decadent, it's opulence, it's incredibly gorgeous cheese.
and I think
I would, this is my desert island cheese,
wh-
100%.
when you get that separation on that sort of halo element, where me and James have spoke before about pappiness, with this, you have that bit of separation, but actually the paste being moussey, the soft sort of almost runny bit, and then the rind, it all eats as one cheese. So you're not getting that pappiness, that separation, which I
Yeah, I
think is
think also what
amazing.
we need to take into consideration, Jonathan, is that because this is predominantly yeast ripened and not mold ripened, you're going to get that style of integration
Yeah.
rather than that slightly firmer where the Penicillium candidum grows a mold, grows and creates more of a rind. The yeast breaks that rind down more, so it's slightly thinner. This is stunning.
And I think the texture for me is perfect. Like
I'm
James said,
done.
there's
I am
nothing
done.
there's nothing. James is leaving. He's done. He's happy with the cheese we've had so far, so he's out.
okay,
No,
chaps. Shall we?
I can't think of anything I'll mark it down on in any which way, and I think it's
The
10, 10,
salt on
10,
this
10,
is
20.
perfect. The
The
salt
salting's
is perfect.
perfect. I think as well, like the flavors you get are all at the right level. So you get that farmers, you get a slight level of
Yeah,
bitterness, but they're all at that perfectly balanced level across the board.
yeah.
So I
Whoever
don't think,
makes this cheese is dedicated to this art in such a way. You can taste that. The milk is beautiful. It's really well made, and sincerely, I love it.
I
There you
think,
go.
yeah,
I'm
I
giving it.
can't.
I'm giving it a
There's
10
nothing to mark
everywhere.
it. There's nothing to mark
Let's
it down on, Cara.
so
50.
full marks
10,
all the way through, guys.
Yeah.
all the way through. There's literally nothing I can think of that would improve it.
That's
And in
incredible.
fairness,
Thank
it's
you.
that good. I wouldn't want to even try and tell the maker that there's something to improve, because I think she'd tell me to go away, because she knows a lot more than I
Or
do,
he.
clearly, because
You
of how
don't know
good
who
that
it
He
is.
or
is.
he.
Could be a man.
Hmm? I mean, sorry, yeah, he or she. Sorry, I apologise.
No worries.
Other sexes
Well,
are
I
available.
mean, much as I want to dive through the screen and tear those away from you, we're going to have to move on to the next one. Sorry, guys. It is cheese number 1138. And I almost feel sorry for it. Ooh.
No, I don't think you need to.
No, I don't think I need to either.
This beautiful rind, incredible cheese. This is a definitely a Tom style cheese. There's a little bit of see the white mold there, just packaging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the curse. I'm just going to take it off. I'm going to give for me the look of this is great. The
Similar
rind,
to a French cheese called, is it Saint Nectaire, James?
yeah, 100%. Yeah, so it's a Tom style. Mechanical holes, of course, through the make, which is natural. You get those. Let's give it a
Again, on the
taste.
nose, I don't think it is a bit muted. You are getting that sort of wine celery smell, which I really like.
I think that the rind is absolutely perfect.
But would you not like a bit more strength in the aroma?
No, I like that.
No, I like it.
I think
I get a
you
little
hit the
bit of
nail on the head.
fruitiness.
This is exactly what you should be talking about. This is the cellar floor. This is a set. This is the hall of. This is the wine cellar of Bollinger in France. I smell that musty cellared nose. You know when you go into a proper wine cellar, a
Yeah.
cave. You get that dampness on the wall. That's exactly the smell that I'm getting on this note.
And
It's
that
just
little bit of
gentle,
fruitness. I
delicious,
think that little gentle fruitness, I get a slight element of like
coming
berries or
through.
something
I love
coming
it.
through. I just don't
Loving
know
it.
if it could be a bit like we've talked about before. I don't know if it could just be a little bit longer, a little bit stronger in smell, a little bit more
Yeah,
oomph.
I
But
think let's see how that translates
oh, watch out, the boss is here. The boss is here. Watch
after
out.
we chew it.
Hello, how you doing?
Yeah, good you. Oh, we've had some. It's a difficult session. The cheeses have been absolutely amazing.
I'm going to go on
Fantastic.
strike. I want those cheeses in front of
That's
me.
what we
So,
want.
yeah.
We have had some absolutely amazing cheeses in these sessions.
Oh my God, the texture's wicked. James, the texture's amazing, isn't it?
I will mute myself and be quiet, otherwise I will.
I'm not gonna. This
delay
is
you.
not in a negative way at all. It's got a really nice bounce to it, like. And I'm not comparing it to that cheese, but that texture of Baby Bell, where it's got that nice bounce and that, like I say, you bite into it like a cartoon where you bite into it, it leaves your tooth marks. That sort of texture that's
Mark,
got
yeah.
fudginess. I think it's a lovely texture. And the rind is firm, but it brings like a bit of fruitiness and a bit of mustiness to it. Again, it's not strong. I don't think there's anything in there that is either overpowering or doesn't leave you with anything too strong. But at the same time, I think that muted element is so well balanced, and there's still length to it. I think there's that confusion sometimes between people saying it's got to be strong to have lots of flavor, whereas this is a great example of a cheese that's got a lot of flavor and a lot of like depth and length to it, but nothing's too strong. And again,
There's a little
we
alcohol, like an alcohol flavor, winey alcohol
yeah,
flavor
definitely.
as well.
And I think that, like we've said in the previous cheese, you can kind of see because there's a balance in there, the consistency of the seasoning. Someone's dedicated so much time to this cheese because it's the effort that's been made in every element, I think, is apparent.
Brilliant, guys. Shall
What do you think about
we
the flavour, James?
go?
That's what I'm assessing now.
Shall we go on to marking it a little bit, guys?
Yeah, I think appearance.
Appearance.
I don't think there's anything you'd improve.
The appearance is perfect. Yeah, I'd say 10.
I'd say 10 because it's got the halo. You know, you take out of account the white bit that was on there because that's just a packaging thing. It's got nothing to do with the quality of the cheese. Aroma wise, for me, I would like it of just a bit more. I think the smell was lovely and what you could smell was great, but similar to some of the previous cheeses. And if I want to mark consistently, I would say I would like just a little bit. Sarah's just winding you up as well, Cara. Look.
I know.
I
over it.
would like to have a little bit more on the nose just to give me a bit more oomph with it. But again, the smells were great. I just would like it a little bit more, in my opinion.
James?
I'm quite happy with the rind. The rind gives me the forest floor that I would imagine with this style.
Yeah.
It's a San Nectar. It's definitely a San Nectar style. It might be slightly, you know, you could probably age it for longer, and then send it out to your customers if you wanted to develop it more. I think with a rind like this, you have to work very hard to produce a rind like this.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And to get it spot on, I think that I can see that there's been a lot of work to get this so perfect the way it looks. We've given it 10 out of 10 for look.
Definitely, yeah.
I think if we be able to push more of that mucor into the rind after the wash, or attract more of that, press that into it, etc., dry brush, whatever, I think you may get a slightly bigger nose. And that being the case, Jonathan, I mean, I'm quite happy where it sits, so I think go 9.5 if we can.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with 9.5. I think exactly what James said. The smell that's there, the aroma, I love. I think that's probably partly why I'd like more of it, because I really like the notes, and I think just to have a bit more of it would just make it even better. But that's nothing to say there's any negatives with regards to what you can smell.
So 9.5 then, chaps.
I'll
Yes.
sit at 9.5. Yeah.
Great.
Texture's a 10 for me.
Texture a 10 for me. Yeah, all day long.
And the taste for me, this is classic, grassy. It's nutty, hazelnutty, gently hazelnutty, biting into a really good hazelnut. You get that slightly creaminess to it as well, which is delicious. It's like that. I think it's a delicious cheese. I'd like to see a little bit more depth in this cheese, but that would be wrong of me to suggest that, because I believe that this is more of a that's the style. It's akin to gentle mountain, grassy, nutty notes. It's an incredible cheese at lunchtime with a nice viscous alpine wine would be absolutely perfect. What a beautiful cheese. Well done, whoever makes this cheese. I'm going to give it an 18.
I'd say 18, yeah. I think, 18, like James said, a bit more length would be nice just because of how good it tastes. And I think that maybe comes down to a bit of selfishness on mine and James's part, just purely because it tastes that lovely. To have it in your mouth, that flavour in your mouth a bit longer would be ace. But I think the balance across the board for a cheese that is in essence quite mild, not meaning that in a negative way, is exceptional.
I think that we go back to the rind as well, as you said. If there's more of that earthiness from the rind that we can pick up on whilst we're masticating this cheese, it would be really nice to get that earthy mushroom note, which brings out that incredibly nutty, beautiful element, that lactic flavors from these cheeses as well. Combined together, that would be more of a journey on the palate.
If there's words we can veto from judging as well, by the way, masticating is definitely one of them. I'd like to veto that one from judging.
All right, vetoed.
Okay.
Lovely. Next cheese we're moving on to is 1139, chaps.
Should we do that one now, or do it later?
I don't know, Jim. Which one is it?
It's a blue.
Oh, is it the blue? Yeah. Do you want to? Can we do that on last, Cara? Is that all right?
No problem. 1144 then, please, chaps.
Oh, I've got it. There we go. Oh, hello.
James, can you do us the camera job, please? Ooh, hello.
This looks and smells like I might enjoy it a little bit.
That looks stunning, chaps.
It
Can
really
you
does.
hold it there for a second, please, while I get a shot, please? Thank you.
It's very similar
oh
to
my
the
God.
first cheese we tried today, although this cheese is older.
Yeah. It's got that Marmite, you know, that really great yeasty, almost slightly alcoholic, like a strong beer sort of smell to it, which I love. It's a sort of
It
cheese that when you
has,
smell it, you just want to eat it straight away because you know it's going to just have bags of flavour to it, hopefully.
it has wet terracotta notes on the nose, laced with slightly fungal notes.
That might be one of the most descriptive, in-depth descriptions I've ever heard of a rind. Was that wet terracotta laced with
Slightly
fungal notes?
fungal.
I'm not sure that wants to make me eat it, actually, but
I mean, the smell is, I hate to say it, James, but terracotta's bang on the nose without the pun, but it really does smell like that. You know, you're in your garden, it's been raining. That's amazing. It's almost like James knows what he's doing. It's crazy.
On my course.
I mean, you cut into that as well, and there's moisture. There's moisture. I mean, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there's moisture just coming out of the cheese, which is amazing.
Yeah.
so it's kind of like a fractured texture, is it?
So almost like that Parmesan, you know, when you break it and it cracks them.
Shatters.
Let's say shatters and fractures. Oh,
I
wow,
love
Jesus. Woo. That is, if you looked up the word savoury in the dictionary and there's a picture, that's right next to it, isn't it, James? Like, but then it has this great creaminess to it as well, which I think's quite exceptional to find the balance between those two. It's intense, isn't it, James?
So this cheese for me, it's really well balanced, big flavor, good salt. Rich caramel. Incredibly beautiful acidity, putting everything together.
And the length is all those flavors, which is nice.
It's really good with a Scottish tablet note to it as well. If you bite into tablet, you get those crunchy crystals, and you can get that tablet kind of feel to this cheese as well. This is, for me, an exceptional example of a cheese. This is 50 points for me, 100% 50 points, 50 points, 50 points, 50 points. That's it.
I hate to say this, I've said it already once, maybe twice this session, but I have to agree with James. I don't feel like it's everything you think it's going to be when you look at it. I know that sounds ridiculous, but you know, you look at this cheese and you think it's going to smell rich, it's going to smell savory, it's going to taste all those things. What James said as well about the length of flavor. You know, the length of flavor is there, but there's no dominance from any one of those flavors. All the bits you can taste, all the bits James described. It's very rare that in a length of in a cheese, when you get such a length of flavor, you can still taste all the elements through that length. Normally, some of them will disappear off, and you'll be left with one intense flavor. Whereas this is still across the board, all those flavors still apparent, which I think it's a difficult.
So, ladies and gentlemen, anybody watching this as well, and the cheesemaker watching this reminds me of, you know, when you have your best Sunday roast, your absolute best Sunday roast. You've roasted a gorgeous chicken. You've got those incredible fats. You've salted that chicken perfectly. At the end of the meal, you may have a lovely piece of bread on the side and you can see the crusty skin just stuck on the bottom that you're peeling off with your spatula. You peel that off, you taste that, you've got that brothy, umami, salty, but well balanced because the fat's integrated. That's what I'm getting with this cheese. It's absolutely sexy cheese.
I think it's killer as well to have salt that's quite high. But it's how it should be, the balance there. That, you know, some
that's what I'm saying. So you get that fat, you know, the fat of the skin, and you throw that fat of the skin, and with the salt, with the oil, boom, 100%.
James, I'm agreeing with you, mate. I agree with you.
I know you are.
Thank you so much. I mean, I know that I'm going to have to ask you what you want to score it in terms.
So I think we're 10, 10, 10,
10,
20.
10, 20.
10, 20. Fantastic. Oh, hold on a second. I put those on the wrong one.
That's
I
good.
forgot you were taking a break. Oh, bear with me 1 second, chaps.
Oh, what great cheese that was, man. Woo.
Okay, so the next one is 1145, please, guys.
1145. Oh, there, got you. There we go.
Ooh,
There's a
Oh,
little hole in it.
first smell I get is a bit of alcohol.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
the rind is giving me some gentle farmy notes
Yeah.
again.
Again, like you say, gentle. It's not too intense.
Yeah, it's farmy, slightly grassy as well.
Grassy. Sorry, mate. You have to speak a language I understand. Sorry.
Don't understand. Grassy.
grassy. I've got them both.
How do you spell each one out of interest, Cara?
Grrr.
The rind is, I'm not sure what the rind is. It looks, yeah, it's paraffin wax again. It's waxed. Agree, Jonathan?
Yeah, no, agreed. I didn't.
How does the cheese look?
I think
Looks
to look
great,
at it,
perfect.
I think it looks really nice. I think the rind is what you expect from this style of cheese, and you can tell it's been handmade and there's been a lot of time and effort put into how it's been treated. The paste is a beautiful color. You still get that halo element where you get where James said before in the previous cheese, where you get that slightly darker element inside the rind where it's drying out slightly, which you'd expect to be a bit richer in flavor and drier in texture. I think aroma wise, I think the pace is ever so slightly muted in my opinion. I think I'd expect it
100%.
to be a bit stronger in aroma, but I love the smell on the rind. I think that sort of mild farminess with that weird little bit of like alcohol element to it, I think is such a lovely aroma on the rind, but
On the
definitely the
paste,
pace,
on the palate,
even when
the
you cut into
taste.
it.
On the palate, the taste for me is it's slightly farmy is the, it's not dominant, but that's it. That's the quiet indication to the farm is there. You can feel that if you think
Yeah,
about it and taste it, and take your time. The salt is quite heavy on this cheese,
it is. I agree.
which unfortunately takes away from the more gentle flavors, the more nuanced flavors that you'd like to see with this cheese. So much so, unfortunately, for me, the flavor of this cheese is lost. The
I
flavor
think
of
you,
this paste is lost
I
somewhat.
agree. You get those lovely little notes at the beginning and you almost expect them to develop, and then that salt just takes over, doesn't it? And I completely
Yeah.
agree with you,
So
James. I think it's the leave-in flavor, which kind of is a shame because those initial notes are really nice.
yeah, the work that's gone into this cheese is testimony to the excellence of the cheesemakers. They've worked incredibly hard.
Yeah.
I think when it came to the salting table, if this was a salted curd, I believe it may be slightly over salted. I mean, it's dissipated beautifully. I mean, it's seasoned beautifully throughout, but it's just a little bit too heavy on that for
Yeah.
me.
And I think
Um,
with seasoning, we've talked about it before in the session, with seasoning is such an important part of what the cheese is, and it can make or break it a little bit. And although the flavor's lovely, and I think the notes we can taste initially are great, the amount of salt has unfortunately really taken away from those flavors, which is a shame because there's a lot of other aspects of it are really, really fantastic.
yeah.
We
So the look
haven't
for me
covered
is a form.
texture, guys.
Pardon?
I said we haven't covered the
Oh,
texture.
sorry. I think the texture's great. I think it has that little bit of snap to it, sort of a light fudginess to it. It's not. I don't believe it's drying at all. I haven't had a piece that I feel's been drying at all enough. It's got a lot of nice moisture to it.
On the taste,
Um,
it's dry.
The taste is like you say. I think but
So positively, the look of this cheese is spot on.
yeah,
The smell of the cheese is subtle. It's not huge. It's kind of suppressed somewhat. I'm looking at a 6 or a 7 on the smell on this cheese.
yeah. I mean, I'd like to maybe look at. I'll definitely go 7. I was going to say 7 or 8, so I'll meet you in the middle because I think
Let's do 8. Let's do 8.
the smell on the rind I think is beautiful, but the
Yeah.
paste smells great, but is slightly muted. So I'll definitely take off for that. But I think what you can smell is really lovely.
Are we
So
saying
we
7
we
or
do
8 then,
So we go
guys?
8 car. I think James said he's
yeah.
happy with.
And then as far as the paste is concerned, I think that's fine, isn't it, Jonathan?
Yeah, I think the texture is lovely. There's nothing I can think to myself
10.
that I'd improve. So I'd be
Yeah.
happy with a 10 on the texture. Yeah. Did we say appearance, Cara?
No, I was going to come
I
back
think
to that.
we're a 10 on appearance,
10.
aren't we, James? Yeah.
Yeah. And as far as the palate, I'm going to. It's for me. That's a fault that it's too salty. So I'm looking
Yeah.
at a 12 or 13 or 14.
I'd be happy with a 14. I think 13, 14. I would have
14
said. So
then.
if we go on the more positive end of it, I'll say 14 because I think, like we said, the notes you can taste are lovely, but that salt just really does detract from it, which is a shame because what you can taste is really great.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you, chaps. We are moving on to cheese 1154.
545454. Here we go. Here we go.
Nice rind.
What about a different word to nice, James?
Very nice. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
It's a very unique rind in so much as the form that the cheese has been the curd has been allowed to rest in has given the lovely rind shape with lines.
So would you say maybe a colander, some sort of colander it's been sat
Potentially,
in?
yeah. I think this one has been specifically designed for cheese because it doesn't have those holes on it
A
that
lot of
you
the
do see
holes,
with
yeah.
other cheeses.
Yeah.
Or maybe a colander that's just got lines on it. So it's a good rind with a dusting, little microbial microflora that has created a perfect mycelium all over it. So there is a living platform there for some good bugs.
And I think it's consistent as well. If you look across the
Yeah,
piece, it's
consistent.
consistent, which is great.
This is an older cheese which has been kept for some time at a consistent temperature in
What sort of
its
style would you
age.
say it is, James?
I don't know. I don't know. It's unique to the place it's being made. It almost looks cheddary, doesn't
It
it?
does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Um,
Shape-wise, you could be forgiven for thinking it looks like what sort of cheese, James? Because you say it better than me.
Gouda or
Oh,
Gouda.
thank you. There we
There
go.
you go.
But I think, like James says, to look at the actual paste specifically, and the look of the rind, it's got a lot more of a cheddary element to it, which I completely agree with James on.
Yeah, it's 10
So
points.
what are
We're not
we
doing
saying
points
about the
now.
paste in terms of the look of it, other than it being cheddary in look?
The paste is deep yellow. It's delicious. The halo has obviously engendered through the air that has taken some of the moisture away from that.
I was
In the
going to say,
heart
do you
of
feel like it looks a bit dry, James? To not
um,
necessarily in a negative way, but to look at the paste, I feel like it maybe looks like it could be a little bit dry.
well, I think it is a bit, but then I genuinely believe that's because of the
This
age of the cheese. But if I feel the cheese, literally feeling the cheese, I can feel moisture in
moisture,
that
yeah, you can.
cheese
You're
as
right.
well,
Yeah, it's got give to it.
which
You're
is
right.
good. I think one thing that's really important for anybody watching this and cheesemakers is, and I'm sure you all do, is this bit. The touch of the cheese is the most important thing. These things came later, but our hands are the tools. And from that, my hand can really tell that this cheese is going to give me some moisture just by touch. That's very clever. I love this cheese. The way it looks great. So
Brilliant. Thank you.
I
dive
think
in.
Aroma wise, again, quite mild.
Yeah.
On the rind, slight level of sort of almost musty woodiness, which I think is a nice smell, but again, quite muted. And then the paste again. I mean, if I'm honest, I'm not getting a huge amount of anything off the paste, if I'm being completely honest.
James?
Maybe a slight bit of butteriness on the nose, but again, it is very muted.
So I'm getting 100% bread, doughy, with to start with, it's bakery notes I'm getting up front. It's quite drying. The bakery notes up front with a hit of salt, and then going into a drying element as well. But it's
I
quite
definitely find it.
bakery, like bready, bakery, brioche notes.
I find it quite dry, to be honest with you.
But more bakery led flavors. And butter at the background as well. I'm finishing off on a lovely cultured butter kind of flavor as well. It's okay, but it's not giving me that kind of wow factor of flavors.
I think we're in a difficult position because cheeses so far have been all, for the most part, very, very wow, whether they've been milder or stronger. I think, like James said, it's a lovely cheese. I think the notes that you can taste, and I definitely agree with James, that sort of bakery, sort of that sort of light yeast you would smell in a bakery as well. I think you get all those elements. Texture, I'm finding it quite dry to eat. And I think the butter, like you say, James, is right at the end. And I think maybe to have more of that throughout the cheese would probably give you a little bit more balance as well. So I think it's a nice cheese, but like James said, it's not for me, not a big wow cheese, which
what we need to think of with a cheese like this
doesn't make it a bad situation. It's just there's not as much. I think we talked a lot about length and depth of flavor, and the flavors you get are nice, but they're not continuing for too long, and then maybe not as prominent as you'd like them to be.
As a retailer and obviously writer of cheese, and what I do in my capacity, I make cheese occasionally as well. And through my learnings with cheesemakers, is it something that the cheesemaker needs to consider the culture that they're using for this cheese? Is that a consideration? Is it the length of time that this has been aged? Is that a consideration? Has that allowed some of that flavor profile to change, but not on the it's maybe has come down on that flavor level, rather than pick that cheese at the right moment where those beautiful flavors are still much more bouncy and apparent. So that's something to consider.
And I think that like, if that was slightly younger, maybe the texture would be more, you'd have a bit more moisture in there. And I think, like James said, that butteriness, those flavors, although would still be mild, but would be a lot more balanced. I think you'd get a lot more out of them potentially. I completely agree with what James said about the age. Yeah.
Score it then, chaps. Where are we going with appearance?
I think appearance is a 10 for me. I don't think there's anything that I think you could change about it. I think it looks great, and I think it's an unusual looking cheese, which I think is lovely. I think texturally, I'm finding it quite dry. I know we're on aroma, aren't we, Cara?
Yes.
But aroma, again, muted. As much as the smells are nice, I think they are muted. And I think on the base of what we've done previously, I think we sit at an 8 when we've said the similar things to previous cheeses, as long as James is happy with that.
James?
Yeah, happy.
Texture?
I'm finding it quite dry, and I think that's my overriding factor with it, unfortunately. And that's a key thing. I think I'd probably sit at a 7, maybe.
James?
I think a 7 is acceptable. Yeah, 7.5, maybe 8.
Yeah, okay, let's go 7.5. I'm happy with 7.5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely. And finally, flavour, chaps.
Again, I couldn't agree more with what James said. I think the fact that I think that age has made a big difference to this, and sometimes people think about age as being, it could have longer to make it better. I think in this case, exactly what James said, slightly younger might be a better time to pick the cheese potentially.
Yeah.
So I think for me, I'm probably sitting around a 15, 16 maybe. What do you think, James? 15?
If we look at the cheese prior to that, and what did we score the cheese prior to that?
14.
14.
I think we should give it a 14.
That's fair. I completely agree with you. Yeah, if you base it on that, 100%. Yeah, we'll go 14.
Yeah.
Thank you, chaps. The next cheese we're looking at is 1175.
75. Oh, here we go.
Oh, hello. Yum, yum, pig's bum.
So this is a
I hope it doesn't taste like. Actually, no, to be fair, I don't mind a pig's bum.
chowder recipe. I'm fairly
A what?
confident.
Sorry, a what? Sorry, James.
Chowder.
Powder.
Ja. Alsjeblieft, dankjewel.
Bless you.
I'm going to go for a spliff.
Oh, well,
Not
okay.
now.
Not
right
now.
James, no.
Judging.
That's
Yeah.
Already
definitely
moved.
not
You,
allowed.
Okay, sorry.
Out of the terms and conditions of judging at the Virtual Cheese Awards, James.
it would
CBD
definitely
oil.
affect. It definitely affect how you feel things taste.
What were we saying about the appearance?
I think the appearance is lovely. I think it's, you know what Sarah said previously about having that sort of sharding effect. You can tell if you were to cut into it with knives, you'd definitely get that. You can see a little bit even on mine there where it's happened. I think James said before about a little bit of dappling on a previous cheese. I think you get an ever so slightly little element of that, which I think is quite attractive. And again, that halo around the outside where you see where the aging process has really taken hold of it. I think it looks fantastic. And obviously
So
the black on the outside.
what age do you think it is?
18
I think,
months.
all right, it's like you've read my
Older.
mind. I was gonna say between sort of 4 to 16 to 18 months, yeah. Because I think it's definitely got that, especially from the smell as well. You
Okay, so
imagine it's had a good
the
amount of
age of
time
the
to
cheese
proper
is
kick.
the cheese looks great, Jonathan. Sorry, man. Cheese looks great on the outside, 10 points for me. But the smell is what I'd expect.
Yeah.
Dairy, caramel, sweet toffee flavors
God, I love a Caramac.
on the
Ages you
consist.
guys.
Sorry.
I said that ages you.
Caramac?
Yeah, you can't
Are you
get it anymore.
joking?
You can get
Oh,
caramel,
I thought you meant as in if you eat it, it makes you older. I was like,
No,
come on.
you can buy
So this
caramel,
is
Cara.
Oh my God, dude, that tastes amazing.
Moving
too
back to the
salty.
cheese.
Too salty, really? Oh,
Go back in.
What's the texture like, chaps?
I think
Texture's
the
fine.
texture's great. I think the texture, I'd almost expect it to be drier, given the age we're assuming it is, but actually it's got a lot of moisture in there, which I think is lovely. I think there's the salt, you're left with a higher salt, but I don't know if it didn't spoil it for me.
The salt takes it away from me, unfortunately. It's not, the salt isn't allowing the other sweet, nutty, buttery flavors to shine through, which
Maybe it's
you
just a
would
difference
find
in the
with
refined
other
palate,
cheese.
James. I mean,
I have.
I'm joking, I'm joking.
I've had howders that are of this age that are not as heavily brined as this one.
Right. Okay.
And I think that there is quite a weightiness of brine on this, which is my if I was to go through structured approach to taste and cheese or complex flavors, etc., my simple flavor of salt would be it hits me at a 7 or an 8 on a scale to 10, and it stays on a 7 to 8. It doesn't move
Okay.
around too much. It stays there. That's where I am with this. The toffee notes are sweet and there, but they're only on a 3 or a 4 level for me on a scale to 10. I'm afraid I really wanted to be more excited by this cheese. I'm going back in 2 or 3 times.
I
It
definitely
worries me
agree with
that
you that the salt is high. I feel like I can still taste the other elements, maybe not in as great a balance as like maybe some of the previous cheese we've had that have been, you know, where we've talked about maybe the salt being high, but the balance is better. I can still taste the elements I want to taste. James said like the toffee, that sort of caramel, that sort of thing. I can still taste those, but I definitely think the balance isn't as good as it could be and has been in previous cheeses. So maybe I'm not losing as much of the other flavors due to the salt as James is, but I agree with him in the fact that the balance is out of kilter slightly because of the salt.
the salt's huge. I mean, it's big. It finishes on salt. I've gone back in with 2 or 3 or more tastes of this cheese. I have to. It wouldn't be fair not to. And the joyous flavors of the caramel, sweet, buttery, fudgy tablet notes are definitely up front more on my second and third attempt, which is great. I love that. But it's weighted down at the end with that salt. And I want to finish on that. I want to finish on that high, but it's weighted down on that salt. So for me, everything is great about this cheese. I mean, marks out of 10 for everything at pretty high on all the 10s, I think. As far as the taste is concerned, I think we're going to go salty. It's the overall flavor is the most important thing when we're judging this category.
Yeah, of course.
And
Let's
I think
go back and judge, chaps, then, and go for appearance.
10.
Jonathan,
Yeah,
you
10.
happy?
10.
Yeah.
Super.
Aroma,
10.
texture.
10.
10.
Okay, then finally flavour.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I strongly agree with James about the salt stopping the other flavors, but I definitely agree with him about the lack of balance because the salt is, you know,
I think it's a 16.
stronger element. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think I'll go 16. Yeah.
Thank you, chaps.
I'm doing that as a percentile on the taste as a whole thing.
Oh.
Moving on to 1185, please.
Oh, here we go. Okay, a lot of moisture. I don't want to move my hand in case I drop it.
Thanks, James. You can see it glistening on the outside.
Yeah.
And I mean, to smell, you're getting yogurt, almost like in a nice way, plasticine, you know, that sort of like Play-Doh. You know, when you're a kid, that smell of Play-Doh.
It's
You get a
very
little bit.
yeasty.
Yeah.
And alcoholic, yeasty notes on the rind. It reminds me of going into a wine making room.
And then the
That
paste is
yeasty note.
consistent throughout. There's no real halo or break between the rind and the cheese.
Very young.
Maybe
lactic.
ever so slightly at the back.
Young lactic. Has it been washed in brine? Maybe. There's a little pinking on the rind, so I think it has definitely been washed in brine. Wow.
You definitely get what James said about that wine. That alcohol wine element is one of the first things I taste. Not too strong, but you definitely get it. That initial flavour.
Okay, so I think the look is what it is. It's fine. It's subject to travelling as well, so I'm not going to mark that down at all. That's 10 points.
Yeah.
For me.
I think
Sorry,
the appearance of the paste as well. It looks, when you cut into it, it's a very attractive looking cheese to cut into. It is sexy. That is the word, James. I agree. Not a word I don't use very often, mainly towards myself, but from a cheese perspective, I think it is a very sexy looking cheese. Texture, I think the texture is fab. It's that sort of beautiful melt in your mouth, indulgent. I mean, James has closed his eyes, so I'm assuming he's enjoying it.
I'm just trying to get all those flavors out. I mean, I think you're. I think this is a very lovely cheese. It's a crowd pleasing cheese in texture.
Yeah.
It's a crowd pleasing cheese in texture, definitely. I think as far as the taste is concerned, for me professionally, I believe that it has a really lovely, similar to a cheese we tried earlier on. It's got that note of sour cream there, element. There is a salinity, a briny note about this cheese, which is quite apparent.
Yeah. Do you think it's overpowering?
It's a dominant flavor, that brine, that yeasty briny note. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but I'd like to see more of the creme fraiche. I'd like to see more of that real that milk shine and shout at me more with more
Right.
yogurty, citrusy flavors. There's not as much citrus. If there's more acidity, like bright acidity, if you go back to the cheese we had before, taste that, we had that kick of incredible, beautiful, bright acidity that came through it as well.
Yeah.
So that kind of, I mean, this is a crowd-pleasing cheese, don't get me wrong. I think the look, I think the paste is spectacular. I think it's a consideration. Culture
Do
is a
you think
consideration with this cheese, and the
do you
salting
think
is
that acidity
consideration
is
as
not
well.
there? Do you think that freshness is not there maybe because of the milk or, you know, the richness of what the cheese is made of? Do you think that maybe takes away the ability? This is a question, not a judgment. Do you think that's why that's missing? Because it's the focus is largely on that sort of intense, rich, decadent creaminess, which you might not get as much of that fresh acidity in it.
Yeah, but is it giving us enough of that fresh creaminess? That's what I'm saying.
I
Is
get a
it
lot of
really
I get a lot of
giving us?
richness. I wouldn't say fresh creaminess. I would say I get a lot of indulgent creaminess, which I generally believe are two different things. I'm not
This,
saying
this,
I'm not saying it couldn't do with a bit more maybe lightness. I'm not saying I disagree with that. I'm just saying is the ability to put in that like citrus freshness more difficult because of the nature of how rich and intense the creaminess is, if that makes
I think
sense.
if you tweak your cultures, you can probably bring something else out
Right,
from this
okay.
cheese. I also genuinely believe that this is a brilliant cheese. It's a brilliant cheese. Whoever's making this is great. It's freaking amazing.
I do
Um,
think you're right.
but
I think maybe that little bit of yogurty creme freshiness might lift it slightly.
yeah, yeah.
I agree
I
with you. I
think
think it's a
I think also if you've got if you're considering the preservation of the rind and the way that it interacts to the paste, that's going to obviously be a consideration of the cheesemaker as well, because this is a yeast-driven cheese.
Mhm.
I think that there's a wash on this cheese as well. I think it's been brined as well, which is giving you that alcohol note
Yeah.
on the nose, that yeastiness. It's a great cheese. I think in time and more practice on this cheese, they may have been making this cheese for a very long time, so please excuse me, but I would like to see, professionally, I'd like to see more dairy, creme fraiche notes coming forward, and a slightly brighter acidity coming through with this as well. I love this cheese, and I would very, very easily have this with a glass of, again, sparkling wine and be very happy with it.
So where do you think we want to appear? Do we still say 10 for appearance, James?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you agree, Jonathan?
Yeah.
Aroma, guys?
Again, I really like the aroma. I think it's different to a lot of the lactic style cheeses. I think you get a bit of wininess, a bit of that yeastiness, which I really enjoy. So I'd sit at a 10 with the aroma.
Yeah.
James?
Yes.
Texture?
It's got to
10.
be a 10. Yeah, I don't think there's anything
Beautiful.
other.
Love it.
I've
Love that.
just given up with my golden buzzer 10s today. It's just been phenomenal. But let's go with flavour finally.
I'll let James lead on this because I know he's with regards to what he said about freshness, and then I'll come in with him.
Do you mind if I just have a little taste again?
Listen, James, you eat as much as you want.
Okay, so I think also going slightly lighter with the salt on this as well could be good. A little
I
bit
think
lighter.
that bite I've just had then, I would say the salt's ever so slightly more prominent. Not
Yeah.
huge, but like you say, maybe a little bit lighter, yeah.
I think 15, 16.
Yeah, I mean, I'd sit on the higher end
16.
purely because
16.
I think 16, yeah. I mean, I was gonna say 16, 17, so I'm happy to meet in the middle because I think I agree with James on the element of freshness, maybe not as strongly, but I think a little bit of lightness might, balance it. But I think still an amazing tasting
I
cheese.
mean, the milk is really good. I don't think we can't criticize the milk. I mean, I think I started talking to Sarah. Sarah was mentioning it yesterday, and I think we've spoken about milk a lot today, and the quality of the milk is there. It's really good, and it's now the artistry of the cheesemaker in the vat, in the salting, in the brining, in the affinage of this cheese that makes this what it is. That's where the real skill comes in at that point. The culture, the cut, when you're taking that cheese out, when it reaches the right pH, etc. These are the elements that make this cheese what it is. And I think with a touch of refinement, that this could be an absolutely incredible cheese. There's one person here that we've tried today who has absolutely nailed that cheese, which is ultimately one of the finest soft lactic cheeses I've ever eaten today. And I think the person that makes this cheese could do exactly the same, for sure.
Great feedback, chaps.
Cool.
Right, the next cheese is 1186.
Well,
Holy
I'm not going to take this out of the
smackaroonies.
paper because if I try and
There's
handle
no
this,
way I can take this out the paper.
Oh my goodness.
This is a washed
That.
rind cheese.
now I'm not going to be biased here, but this is my kind of cheese. If you said to me, "What's your favorite kind of cheese?" We talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
Washed rind, like this sort of like it's yeah. I'm excited.
I think you've been
This has
excited
got
all
an
day, haven't
It's
you?
very
incredible,
true. Yeah, I'm an excitable kind of guy, Cara. So
an incredible nose. The look
thank
is
you.
10.
Oh,
I
the
don't
cheese. Sorry.
care. It's just how it's arrived. Incredible nose on this cheese.
Oh, it smells phenomenal, doesn't it? It's got that balmy, that sort of what you want from a wash rind, a bit of that sort of fermented funkiness, which is what you'd
Umami,
expect from.
alcohol again,
Yeah.
grapey,
Oh,
definitely grapey. Delicious on the nose. Really, really good. I've just got to
and
go in
oh,
right
look how
away and
clean
just
that
go
is.
for it.
Beautiful white crystal texture. It's got that breakdown around the outside, which is again what you'd expect from this style of cheese. And then
Um,
the smell on
very,
the
very.
paste is even better, I think, than a rind. It's got similar notes, that fermented funkiness, but then super rich creaminess as well on the nose as well. I mean, look at that. Come on now. Breaking
Stop
down
it
soft. Sorry, Cara. I'm
already.
sorry. I'm just doing it on purpose now. I'm sorry.
I know.
Okay, this is a really brilliant cheese. It's got a lot of. It's got a beautiful, creamy, earthy, yeasty, human element. That yeasty human element to it that
Do you
you
get a bit
get.
of, I mean, I'm not going to say, ask you what a human tastes like, but do you get a bit of brassica? That ever so slightly, that little bit of brassica, I feel like you get that slightly cabbagey note, which is not what I'd
No,
expect from this type of cheese, but I think that
I'm
little
not
bit,
picking that up. I'm going to go back in and see if I can. Yes, maybe no. I don't know.
it's not strong, but I just, that little back note I think is really lovely because actually it's bringing in something that you wouldn't expect from maybe a washed rind cheese like this. Um, I think that I'm going to use the word vegetal as opposed to brassica. I think it's more like that sort of vegetable broth element to it. I think the texture's just, I mean, I'd give this an 11 or a 12 if I could, because I think the texture for me is that breakdown, that runniness, that softness, that rind, and then that firm, I think I said it before, that firm mascarpone style mousse texture. I think it's just insane.
So it's great. It's a great rind. The rind is bringing the chicken umami brothy notes, which is quite with a washed rind cheese, which they often deliver umami rich brothy notes. This is giving that brothy chicken pan element to me 100%
Yeah,
again. Really well integrated. The
and I think the
mousse
color. Oh,
is
go on, sorry, Jim.
sublime. The mousse is sublime. The rind, is interesting. I'm not sure if there's any. They're washing with a little bit of annatto as well to bring up, making it so orange, which may be part of the deal here. However, that doesn't really engender any flavor necessarily. It
No,
just brings out the yeast.
it makes it
Might
that.
add a slight nuttiness to it. There is a
Yeah,
nutty element to this as well, a creamy, like macadamia nut note to this as well.
yeah, amazing. Yeah,
Um, there is a slight weightiness on the seasoning. I think we need to be cautious of the seasoning of this cheese again, the brining.
Do you think it's as heavy as
Salt.
you know, if we compared it to the previous cheese, is it as
Yeah.
heavy? I think it's. I don't think
No,
it's
no,
as
it's not as
heavy.
heavy.
Yeah,
No, it's not as heavy. No,
but maybe
it's
it's
not
on
as
that
heavy.
edge a little bit, isn't it?
But but we're judging this professionally for the cheesemaker.
Are we?
Professionally, we are. So I think, as far as I look at this cheese, I think it's magnificent. It's a brilliant cheese, and to the point of I want to give it 50 points right now. But then I want to put it side by side with the other one, and then we need to pull straws and see what we think wins.
Yeah, I think once we've judged all of them, we come back at the end, don't we?
Yeah,
But I agree
this
with
is
you,
a
James.
this
There's
is
nothing I can
50
see in this
points.
cheese that I think could be any better. I think it's
And at the
10, 10,
moment,
10, 20.
chaps,
I think 3. Well, we have to go back to 3 of them then.
Oh,
But
it's a nightmare, isn't it? What a shame.
we've still got 3 more to go. So
cool. Well, that's the 50 points for me. But I think when we look at, I put these side by side, Jonathan, I think I know for a fact, I know that there's going to be one that sticks out for me from the 3.
And I'm pretty sure I can guess which one that is.
I don't know.
Let's not prejudge it, guys.
I'm not prejudging it, but I'm
We're
pretty sure I
going
can
full
guess which one.
marks on this one. Are we going full marks on this one?
Yeah, full marks.
Yeah.
I can't. There's nothing I think you could do that could be any better, in my opinion.
Brilliant.
Have you got a favourite already, Jonathan?
Have I got what?
A favourite already?
Couldn't possibly comment.
I'm gonna struggle to pick between 2, to be honest with you. So going back and tasting is an essential thing because there's 2 cheeses that have stood out for me massively.
All right, you might want to wipe your board too.
Yeah, I've just thought that because my board's an absolute mess now.
Just running away, everyone.
I'm still here.
No, the cheese is running off the board.
All right.
I love cheese.
Cheese! I love cheese.
Right. Give that a wipe. I don't know why I've wiped that. I bought 6 knives with me, so I didn't have to do this, and I'm still spending time wiping them.
Yeah, but you've also got 24 more, so.
Oh my god!
Okay, guys, the next cheese is 1187.
Right. 1187. Where are we? Why can't I see 1187? Oh, there we go. Oh, look at the colour on that.
Ooh. That looks
I'll wait till James is back.
spectacular.
Oh. Tell you what, we've been lucky. We've had some beautiful cheeses. This might be up there with one of the best categories I've ever judged from a point of view of the consistent quality.
Amazing. I have to say, I mean, I
Best category.
did a couple of sessions yesterday, and the cheeses were magnificent. You know, when I go back to how we have judged this over the 6 years, and you've seen it progress.
Yeah.
Just the quality of the cheese this year is magnificent.
I think it's testament as well to, like we've talked about, the makers. I think that the reason this sort of judging is so good, and some of the other judging I do where they get actual feedback, is key because for the most part they just want to do a great job of what they're doing, and to be able to get feedback from people that judge like regularly and they have that level of palate. I think it's immeasurable for them to have that feedback, and I think you can see that they utilize it because I think year on year we taste similar cheeses. I think the same cheeses, and I think you can see the improvement, and I think that's amazing because I think cheese making, it blows my mind the skill involved in it. When you taste these cheeses and you think, God, people have made this, it's unbelievable.
James,
hey,
come on. Right, 1187, sir. It looked beautiful.
And then I'm putting my special seasoning.
Yeah, it's that one.
No, that doesn't look like it. 1187.
Oh, it's not that one.
It's not that one, lovely.
It's the orangey colour one, James.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, excuse me.
Oh, wowzers. Look at that.
It's a very beautiful looking cheese.
Stunning.
Why, pet? Right, go on then.
Hey guys, let's jump on in. Appearance?
I think you've got to say it. I mean, the rind, for me, it's a 10. I think the rind's lovely. You've got that nice white powder cover across the whole thing. I mean, the color of the paste is amazing.
Buttered mushrooms.
You can see that clarity.
Buttered
Sorry,
mushrooms.
you can see that clarity of the halo, which I think is amazing.
Yeah, it's really nice. And on the look is beautiful, as Jonathan said. On the nose, I'm getting buttered mushrooms from the white mold, which is delicious. It's really lovely on
Yeah.
the nose.
And there's super richness, really rich buttery note on the paste. And then when you cut into it, it's the same smell actually, but just even accelerated even more. Quite open in texture. I don't want to say crumbly, but has that line to it. Beautiful yogurty note.
It's
Yeah,
as
then a
as
nice.
you as expect with this cheese.
Yeah.
The nose when I cut into it.
What style of cheese would you say this is, Jim?
This is a crumbly. It's a crumbly make. It's a Cheshire style, without a doubt. Crumbly nicely, breaks as you would imagine. You see how the curds have knitted together, and how they knit together there.
I think that lovely gentle acidity, which again you'd expect from that Cheshire style. It at first a little bit dry in, but then you finish with this actually a lovely bit of moisture produced, which I think is great. You'd expect it to be milder. It's not a strong cheese by any sense of the imagination, this style anyway. But I think you get some nice notes, and I think the rind is, adds great texture and flavour to the cheese. So I think if you ever look at a cheese and you expect it to be a certain style, this is like a prime example of a cheese that follows through. You look at it, you think, looks like a Cheshire style. And I think texture, flavour, it follows through perfectly in that. I think it's a great example of, a stereotypical Cheshire cheese with, it has got a bit of complexity to it. I think that length of flavour's there. In this style of cheese, you're never going to get huge amounts of length of flavour, I don't think. But that's not typical of this kind of cheese. But it's still got a
James?
great complexity to it.
I'm just thinking about the make Cheshire or Gloucester.
I think Cheshire, but
Cheshire is
again,
cloth bound.
would you not say this has been cloth bound and then had the cloth taken off?
Don't know. Yes, it has. And I can see that because I've got filament.
Some strands.
Lovely, guys. Shall we go to marking it?
Yeah, I mean, appearance wise, I'd give it a 10. I think it's a beautiful looking cheese.
Aroma?
What do you think, James? Are you a 10 on the appearance?
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I like the smell. Again, it's not strong. But I like the smell. I think it's what you'd expect. Again, James said them sort of light butter mushroomy notes on the rind. I think it's a lovely smelling cheese. Whether or not it could be ever so slightly accelerated in smell, I don't know. I don't know if it's
What do you
possible to
think,
do that with
James?
this style of cheese.
What are we on? We're on smell now.
Aroma,
No,
lovely.
aroma, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the rind's beautiful. And the paste, it's a 9 or a 10.
Yeah.
There's no off smells.
When you get these sort of this Cheshire, this sort of style, you can sometimes smell a little bit of acidity, but I don't think you get that. I think the smell's balanced. I think it's lovely. I think it's a 10 for me in the smell. In aroma, sorry.
James?
James, are you a 10? What do you think on the aroma? Or
Yeah.
Yeah. Again,
Texture,
texture.
chaps.
10.
Yeah, I don't think you can give it any time on that because it's got.
Okay, and finally, flavour.
Oh, that's difficult.
They've all been difficult.
I mean, I think judging it on the side cheeses, I think it's great. I think, you're not expecting it to be as big and powerful as some other cheese we've had. But again, I think it's a great example, as we said before, with that sort of Saint Nectaire style where it's got lots of notes, lots of little notes you can taste. It's not the longest in flavour, it's not the strongest in flavour, but it's got a lot of complexity to it, which I think's, again, a great example of why cheeses can have lots of flavour, but not be super strong.
I think, yeah, this is a divine cheese.
I'd struggle to, given what it's sort of cheesy, I struggle to think of a way that I could improve it on flavour because it's not supposed to have oodles of depth. It's supposed to have a bit of depth, but you can't. I don't know. I think for me it would be a 20 because I just can't think of another, which I know is a nightmare because we're giving ourselves a much bigger problem at the end. But I genuinely can't think of how I'd improve the flavour. James might might think of other options, but for me, I can't think of how I'd make this a better version of what sort of cheese it is.
Well, the Cheshire, when you think of Cheshire, you think of the salinity of the Cheshire Plains, which filters through into the flavour of these cheeses. Chester and Gloucester are very similar cheeses.
What do you want to give this one then?
I don't think it gives the delivery on flavour. It's not as it's a very, very good tasting cheese. I mean, it's brilliant. It's a brilliant tasting cheese, but it would be good to see more defined yogurty, grassy acidity. Whereas this is a buttery cheese. It's quite moist, which is beautiful. I mean, for this, it's beautiful. It's really nice, but it's just lacking a little bit on that kind of yogurty, grassy acidity that I would want to see more of in this cheese.
Okay, so where would you score it?
18.
Are you happy to meet in the middle with me? Because I would have given it 90 because I feel I can taste
19 then.
Yeah, we happy with 19? Okay.
19.
Brilliant, guys. Thank you. We're then moving on to A91196.
It's the last. No, it's not. It's not the last
Second
one.
to
One
last.
after that.
Yeah.
An ultimate.
Oh, wow.
It's quite young.
Again, I'm getting a bit of alcohol smell on there. Bit of savouriness, sort of a bit of yeastiness, that Marmite element to it.
This is a cheddar.
But not super strong.
Cheddar.
Feels very moist.
Yes, it's a young cheddar.
Yeah.
Cuts well. It's firm.
Mm.
The nose is very quiet. There's some
Yeah.
fungal notes on the rind, but there's not. It's not really. It's not been aged long enough, I don't think, to be able to give more of that boof on the nose.
You'd expect that though from the age, wouldn't you?
Hmm?
Yeah,
Did you
given that it's a
expect
younger
that?
cheese, you wouldn't expect as much of the. So this is the way that the cheesemaker wants the cheese to be.
Yeah.
Then I would say that the smell is relevant to that.
I know exactly what the cheese is. I know the cheesemaker. I've got to be
I'm
honest.
struggling. I feel like it's there's a lot of salinity. I'm left with a little bit of a tingle on my tongue.
It's foamy. The paste is gorgeous. It's a really nice
I think
paste.
the texture's lovely. I really like the texture. It snaps, but it's smooth.
It's got a histamine acidity.
I'm finding that a bit domineering for me on the flavour. I get a lot. I get some lovely notes at the
Hot water,
beginning.
by the way. Hot water, by the way, if everybody's wondering.
Of course it is. We'll believe you. But I think I like the notes at the beginning, but I do find that acidity. That's all I'm left with. I feel like it takes away from the rest of those flavors for me personally. But I think the texture is phenomenal. I love the texture. I'd like to. I don't. James, you might. I find the rind. Is there a reason that there's not much coloration to the rind at all? Is that just because it's
Because it's
young?
young.
Yeah. So I feel like appearance-wise, I think if that's how the maker wants it to be, that's what you'd expect it to look like. That makes sense. Would I like to see a bit more age on it and a bit more color on the rind? I think I would. But it's
I
hard
think
to
the way
judge that
this
based on if that's what they want. So
this
think
is what
that's
they've
what they
entered, though.
want.
I don't think we can judge that. This is they've entered a cheese which
no,
is
that's right.
between
That's what I'm
it's
saying.
the
Yeah, I'm just
9 month to 12 month old cheddar cheese. This is it.
Okay, shall we judge it then, chaps? Appearance?
10.
like I say, yeah, based on this is what they I say it's a 10 because that's how they want it to look.
Lovely. Aroma?
Again, slightly muted, like James said. I'd be sitting around an 8.
It's a young cheese.
No, I get
I'm
that, but I
having
still think with a young cheese, I think I would say that the cheese we had before is classed as a young cheese, but I feel like there was more aroma to that.
9.
And nine, okay.
Texture?
Texture's 10 all day
10.
long.
And finally, flavour, chaps.
I
I
think
think
me and
bringing
James,
down the acidity would be good.
yeah, definitely. I think that's where it falls ever slightly short on how good it could be. I think the notes you taste, and we had it before with some of the saltier ones, the flavor profile is lovely. What you can taste is great, but then that acidity almost blocks the balance and the development of those flavors, which is where I think, like James said, if you
I
could bring
mean,
that down, I think it would be.
dare I say, would you consider the milk? I think the milk quality is really good. Would you consider the feed? Would that have an impact on the
Yeah,
flavor
maybe,
of
yeah.
this milk? And this is quite grassy as well, which would suggest more silage to me. Quite, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
grassy fermented
yeah,
notes. It's a cracking cheese. It's a sort of cheese that I would definitely go to have a pub lunch and a ploughman's with a pickle that would marry that acidity and that kind of wow fact. When you bite into a pickle, you go, oh, like this.
yeah.
The thing with this cheddar with that pickle would be absolutely spanking, really perfect. A good glass of Perry or good cider to go with this cheddar as well would be absolutely splendido. But I think the acidity,
For
as
a
you said,
score,
Jonathan, would
chaps.
be.
I think flavor-wise, I'd sit around for me, I'll probably be a bit lower than James, I think, from what he said. So I'd sit around a 16, 17 score-wise.
I'll go 17 then.
Okay, perfect.
Chaps. And we're now going back to our final cheese. Got to find it on the list, which is 1139. Ooh, hello.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, people. Wow. Can we see the rind a little bit more on the side, maybe? Ooh, hello. Thank you, guys. Brilliant.
I mean, the texture from
Let's
feeling it, from cutting it and feeling it, it feels like it's got a beautiful texture to it. Obviously, you have that slight darker brown element coming in inside the rind. I think the smell is biscuity. It's sort of like you can smell the moisture. It's got that sort of digestive biscuit smell to it.
The paste doesn't really give much off.
Oh, wow. A lot of mushroom flavor. I love mushrooms. So to me, that I like that. The bitterness is quite high, but it didn't stick with you, to be fair. It's not, I don't think it spoils the cheese, the other flavors. That bitterness hits you, but it's not stuck there. I can still taste that mushroominess, that creaminess. Quite like the balance. I think the balance is quite nice. I don't think there's anything. Maybe the acidity is a little high potentially.
Yeah.
Like not as high as some of the other acidic cheese we've had, but it is maybe slightly off balance on that side, ever so slightly.
It's not so much the acidity; it's the salting. Obviously, the salting is quite high, and the salting has led to obviously you have to have salt and oxygen to encourage the penicillium roqueforti to do what it does. This is very very blue, very blue, very bitter is the dominant flavour.
So bitter is the word I should use as opposed to acidic. Yeah. So there's bitters.
Yeah.
Again, I'm pleasant. I quite like the fact that even through that bitterness, I can still taste that mushroomy element, which I really like. But the balance is definitely slightly off.
There's some pear drop, sweety notes going on. A big blue, herbaceous, spicy kick, which is dandelion bitterness, astringency kind of note that's going through that. I'm picking up on some mushrooms, but not lots of mushrooms. But so there are some mushroom notes there as well.
That was literally the first thing I got, almost like porcini, really like rich mushroom. But I quite like bitter notes. I think I'm finding more and more now that I enjoy bitter notes. So I think maybe, although I completely agree, I think the balance is slightly off. It's not stopping me enjoying the cheese. I think the bitterness brings something to the cheese, but could it be slightly muted to balance the cheese more? I definitely think it could be.
Yeah, the mushroom notes on second or third inning for me. I'm getting those mushrooms, but the astringency is slightly, the bitterness is slightly high.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's very difficult when you're making a blue cheese because you've got to get the salt right for the cheese to do what it needs to do. It's really important. Salting is super important for blue cheese. And there's also something towards the end, which is like biting onto a steel, a spoon, something metallic about this as well, which I'm getting towards the end.
Really? I don't get that. Really?
Try again.
Oh no, I've had 4 pieces now. I've got to be careful.
But there is. So if you try it again, you might see.
Okay. I'll be bullied into trying some more cheese. Such a shame.
Shame, you poor thing.
I don't get it. I get bitterness aside, mushrooms the overriding flavor for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't bitten many spoons in my time. I'll be honest with you. I've licked
I'm really
a few
glad
batteries.
to hear that.
I've licked a few batteries, but not bitten many spoons. But I definitely think the bitterness is the thing it's affecting the balance, definitely.
Okay.
And although it's not spoiling the cheese for me, I think if that could be honed in a little bit, I think the cheese would be like even better. Attractiveness. So we are on, I'm assuming, Cara.
Yes.
What do you think, James?
That's 10.
Yeah, I think a 10. I don't mind. Some people will complain about that little dark brownness that comes on the inside of rum, but it doesn't bother me at all. It's just part of the process. So I think a 10.
Aroma.
Again, I quite like it. I think that biscuity note to it, you get the creaminess. I don't know how. I mean, again, James, what do you think? Because I don't know if I could think of how to improve the smell of that side of blue cheese. But what do you
You
think?
can't really improve the smell. It's what you're doing to make your cheese that gives it that smell. It's the cave environment. It's the mold that's growing on the outside, which is giving you all of that. So what you're smelling there is the biome in which this cheese is being aged, and I think it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
No. Yeah, I just was wondering if you were on a 10 or
No, I think it's controlled. It's fine. It's a 10. There's nothing wrong with that.
Go on to texture, chaps.
I love the texture of it.
I think the texture is lovely. Yeah, really good.
Yeah,
So 10.
Good fun. Semi-soft, kind of just awesome. Really, really good fun.
And finally, flavour.
I think James is lower than me, so again, I think it'll be a meet in the middle jobby.
16.
Oh, do you know what? To be fair, I'll sit at 16. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll sit at 16 because although the business doesn't bother me as much, I think it definitely could do with being brought in to balance the cheese more.
That's all it needs to do, and then it could be spectacular.
Thank you very, very much. I am going to have to ask you to pull out 3 cheeses. The first one is 1058. It's a red coloured cheese with a microflora on the rind.
1058.
Yep.
105.
What? What? Oh, that one.
Oh, that one. That one.
Yeah, that one. Also 1135. Yep.
What was that? Sorry,
35.
1135. Yeah, this one.
No, that
No.
one.
Oh no, that's 11. Sorry, I got the wrong label. My bad. Yeah, 1135. That's yeah.
And then 1186.
1144.
Oh,
What?
4,
Oh,
4.
that one.
Where are we? Which one?
Flipping heck.
Which one? 1144. Where am I? That one, yeah. I thought we had that. Yeah. And then 1186.
And then 1186. So 4 absolutely incredible cheeses.
Right. I feel like I know where my heart lies, but
Your head, I need you to use, and your taste buds.
I know, yeah. There we go.
So, where do we
I'm
want to
going
start?
to cleanse my palate.
Thank
All
you,
right,
mate.
thanks. I've got to moderate this afternoon. Don't cleanse your palate for too long.
I like these. These are really nice. These biscuits are amazing.
Yes, they are. I buy them.
I can't have them, unfortunately. Because of my stoma, I can't have the dry fruit.
Oh, have you not got any other ones, lovely?
Yeah, I have, but to be fair, I'm a big believer in I'll eat the cheese as it is. All the cracker is, it's got to taste nice, but it's more of a vessel to get cheese in my mouth.
So, I don't know where you want to start here, chaps, because you've got quite a...
I think I would start with this one maybe.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I mean, the balance in that cheese is exceptional.
Sorry, what's the number that you're going with first, guys?
1135, I think.
Yeah.
The balance is so good.
Okay, let's go into the next one, the orange one, which is 1186.
Oh man, start picking your favorite kid. I almost think having that one after the first one has given it's the balance in that one 1186 is almost improved since the first time we tasted it. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but the salt level's almost dropped ever so slightly for me. Oh man.
James,
I don't know.
what's going on in your cheesy brain?
Don't ever ask him that, Cara. It's something
Um,
you don't want to know the answer to.
I'm varying actually more to 1186 at the moment.
Yeah, which is I
Oh,
honestly, if I'm honest with you, before tasting, I was like, I feel like 1135 was in the front, but tasting that one again after that one, I think I'm edging on that one a little bit actually, like you, James.
Yeah, let's go to the hards and see. I'm going to just go. I think I just very quickly go back to it. Try the red.
Oh wow. Have some fruitiness at the beginning of that as well. It's a nightmare.
Wow.
wouldn't want to be in your shoes.
I've got big feet, Carl. I'm not sure you'd fit, but I think having oh. Sorry, I nearly dropped my knife. Lucky it's not sharp pointing.
This
Oh
is
my God.
amazing. This is amazing.
Which one's that one? What number?
What numbers are we,
One one
Jonathan?
one 1144. I mean, they're all. I'm sort of stuck between 1144 and 1186. I think, which is annoying because they're both very different cheeses.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Are you the same, James?
Yes, I am. I am definitely. I need to go back to these two now.
Where are you
So
I might just
leaning,
do
James?
I might
At
just
this point,
do a little taste. Do a little taste of this again. Little taste of that again.
can I ask you guys, the
Yeah.
1144,
yeah,
you just said it's simply phenomenal. What is it that's just blowing your brains with it?
I mean, it's incredibly well balanced. The whole thing. There is a
yeah.
plethora of flavor with that cheese that is unsurpassed. I've had that cheese several times before. I know who makes that cheese. I
What do you think?
want you right now to listen to this.
Okay.
Make sure you send those cheeses to number 2 Pound Street, please. Thank you.
If it's the cheese you think it is, James.
Choose you think it is. Absolutely. Thank you.
Um,
I can't tell you.
I the difficulty is now is picking between two very different styles of cheese
Yeah.
because
And
this
I'm
cheese
sorry.
is meant to be big, punchy, umami rich. That cheese isn't supposed to be that, so it's quite difficult.
But the washed rind cheese we're trying with the orange rind is definitely meant to be umami.
Yeah, but not as rich and intense. It's meant to have, I
Yeah.
don't mean it's not meant to be umami, but I mean from a strength point of view, trying to compare two cheeses, one that's super strong and one that's not meant to be a little bit more delicate. Um,
If I said to you both,
oh no, don't do
there's
it,
only
Cara.
one cheese that you can have for your final dinner.
Well, I'm picking. Oh, if that's the question, I'm picking the washed rind one but that's also because that's my kind of favorite style of cheese as well. So I'm a little bit biased. But if that's the question, then I'm picking the washed rind one. But I know James would pick the harder cheese, which doesn't
Well,
make your.
practically, I'm thinking if I'm on a desert island with my favorite cheese, it would have to be this one because the other one would degrade quicker,
Oh,
Stop
and I'm
James,
going
that's got nothing
practical,
to do with
James.
me.
Okay. We need to decide between these two guys.
Oh, oh, man, alive.
Okay, how about if you are at a cheese counter and you're looking at those two and you're the cheesemonger and you're trying to get somebody to choose between the two because
I
they've only
think
got enough
think the
for
harder
one
cheese. I
cheese.
think the harder cheese would be an easier sell if you're a cheesemonger.
But this is
I
all
think
about the taste.
no, but that's what I mean.
Yes.
I think
The taste is perfect
no,
on
no. I'm
that
not saying
cheese.
it's no, no, no. I'm not saying it's not. What I'm saying is, I think if you took a percentage of people, more people would have a preference for that cheese as opposed to that cheese, as opposed to the softer cheese, the wash rind cheese. But oh man,
Nor my
alive,
analogy of the cheesemonger because I'm confusing, just purely on taste.
This is the winner.
the wash rind one.
Yeah.
Right, we're done. Don't change it, Cara. 1186.
Chaps, I know that was
Jesus.
so difficult. I
I don't think
really,
I've ever had a more difficult judging session on the basis
I
of
think
just
what
such
we've got
good
to say
quality
to the
cheese.
cheesemakers of these cheeses, the reason why this cheese clinches it for me is on closer inspection. And that's why when I said we need to go back to the lactic yeast
Yeah,
ripened cheese, and that one is to look at the balance. The balance of this particular yeast ripened cheese is perfect, beautiful, encouraging, wants you to eat more of it. Sour cream, brothy notes on the rind as well, slightly yeasty notes on the rind. This cheese has got a slightly wider flavor profile,
yeah.
which is the salt is actually is actually helping to integrate and bring out some of those flavors.
It's key to it. Yeah, I agree.
And this is divine.
I think that's where you find seasoning so important,
yeah.
isn't it, James? Where
Yeah.
the salt is there to almost, accentuate flavors. And I think in that one, what James said is perfect. That salt has just brought out the flavors even more, which I think is a great thing.
This is an incredible example of the cheese, but the only reason why this for me won was those flavors are actually are splendidly, they're perfect, they're delicious. Yeah, well done, that person that makes that cheese.
Yeah.
If
And
you're
texturally,
selling me that cheese, whoever's watching this now,
not that you know, James, not that you know.
I want a special price for those cheeses, please. Thank you.
thank you, James. All right, chaps, that was
Thank you, Cara,
just
and sorry as well.
ridiculous. Don't. So
Jesus.
the winner of this amazing class is 1186. So A91186. We'd like to finally thank Butler's Farmhouse Cheeses for sponsoring our wonderful aprons this year again, and Miller's for being our incredible cracker sponsor, providing us with their delicious Miller Damsel crackers. Chaps, I know we had a little wait to do this class, but it has
Worth the
proved
wait.
to be so worth the wait and just best class I've ever judged, I think. Your feedback
Same
has
about the
been,
judges.
yeah, I know, but the feedback has been so brilliant and structured that I hope the cheesemakers really take it all on board. This cheese is going to go through to the Supreme Final on Wednesday, the 17th of June, where we will be revealing the best British and Irish cheese. It will culminate in us awarding our Supreme Champion 2026, which will be one of 22 amazing cheeses. So once again, guys, thank you so much. And to all the cheesemakers, thank you very much for putting in these incredible cheeses this year.
Thank you. Best judging category I think I've ever done. The quality of cheese was exceptional.
Brilliant. Thanks,
Company could have
guys.
been